the Silver Field on the campus of St. John's University in Jamaica, New York, New York 55 presents St. John's football. This afternoon, the Red Storm entertain the Peacocks of St. Peters. Well, hi again, everybody. I'm Barry Landers, along with New York 55 Sports Director C.J. Papa. Red Storm coming off a dramatic come-from-behind win last week over Stony Brook, ready for their homecoming. Well, anytime you score 17 unanswered points to win a game, it's a confidence builder. I expect a carryover effect for St. John's and a big game for the Red Storm. Well, their opponents today, the Peacocks of St. Peters, have lost 9 in a row dating back to last year. 3 straight this year. Their defense has played pretty well. Their offense struggling. One guy they hope to wake it up today is Tom Reale. I tell you, Tom Reale, let's call him the real deal. He had 158 yards last year against St. John's. He's also their leading receiver this year out of the backfield. He's got to touch the ball around 40 times today for them to be successful. Well, their quarterback has been injured a good part of the early season. He'll be healthy today. As far as St. John's, they've had a lot of injuries this year, particularly defensively. But offensively, they're getting some great production, particularly from the quarterback, Mark Levine. Well, Mark Levine engineered that comeback last week against Stony Brook. 2 touchdown passes in the fourth quarter. He loves playing against St. Peters. Over 200 yards passing last year. 3 touchdowns. Terrific player. Now, Mark Levine, Jermaine Creighton, they'll be the stars offensively to keep an eye on. And CJ will be back to chat with the coaches in just a moment. Get set for exciting St. John's football coming up next on New York 55. St. John's football is brought to you in part by your Tri-State GMC dealers, comfortably in command. These red letters in the market. A few moments, it gives us a chance to talk to both coaches. First for St. Peters, Mark Collins, and Coach, you get back a senior leader, Jeremy Bartok, your quarterback.
Yeah, we're real pleased to have Jeremy back. He was slowed down with a hamstring, and when he's in the ballgame, I think we're a much better offensive team. So good to have him back.
You've had some problems on the offensive line, but defensively, pretty solid.
Defense has really played above their heads at this point and kept us in ball games. And offensively, we need to move the football and keep those kids off the field and see if we can get some confidence on the offensive side.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot. Good luck this afternoon. All right, Bob Ricca, got to ask you, it's homecoming. Is it a challenge to coach during homecoming week?
Well, I prefer when it's over with. Yeah, it's a little extra distraction. Things that you're not accustomed to. Just takes your mind off things.
Last week, 17 unanswered points in the fourth quarter, a big win over Stony Brook. Do you worry about a letdown against a team that's lost 9 in a row?
No, we really didn't talk about letdown. What we talked about from a positive standpoint, let's build on what we accomplished last week. We're really proud of the way our kids hung in there and the resolve that we showed, and we said, let's continue it.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. Good luck this afternoon. The kickoff between St. Peters and St. John's is up next. You're watching St. John's football right here on WLNY New York 55. St. John's football is brought to you in part by St. John's University. And the Red Storm getting ready to go. St. John's to kick off as Christian Soto will step forward to boom it. Back to receive the kick, Sylvester Miller, number 43, and number 32, Tom Reale. Miller had an 88-yard kickoff return for a touchdown earlier this year. Short kick, and Miller will watch this bounce behind him into the end zone, and Reale will down it for the touchback. So St. Peters will take over 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. The Peacocks coming in with a record of 0-3. Blown out by Marist in their last game, 42-0. Well, they're happy to have quarterback Jeremy Bartok back in the lineup. He's been out pretty much all year with hamstring injury. 13 completions, 23 yards, just 142 yards. And we'll give you the starting lineup in just a moment. Bartok will have Reale and Miller working in the I formation. Reale, the big bruising fullback, number 32. 2 wide receivers. And a handoff to Miller off the left side of the line, and he bounces for about 4 to the 24-yard line, where he was brought down on the play after a pickup by Rob Feast. Well, Bartok has Polite and James as his wide receivers. Miller and Reale, a couple of pretty good running backs if they can open up some holes. That offensive line has really struggled this year. That's right, 16 sacks in the last 2 games. A couple of freshmen on the right side of Brown and Nadiello. They will be tested. Pickup of, let's call it about 4 on that last play. And this time they'll go to Reale, and he'll bounce his way for a couple to around the 27, 28-yard line. Eric Grazan, number 48, the defensive end, made the tackle for the Red Storm defense. It'll be a 3rd and 2 situation. Well, that Guy in the middle, number 72, the nose guard, Elliot Holtz, has been outstanding.
Very quick. You'll see a lot of times he'll be in the backfield.
Big guy in the linebacker spot, Rob Feist, their leading tackler, and a very strong secondary. Kenny Kraft coming up big last week, had a huge interception, and now we face a third down for St. Peter's. Third and let's call it about 2. Bartuk to throw, dumping out of the backfield. This is Miller trying to pick up the first down, and he'll get it across the 30 to around the 32-yard line, driven out by Richie Rodriguez.
Nice safe pass, Barry. Throw it out to Miller, let him do the rest. He was able to get 3-4 yards for the first down. Good offensive set. This is what St. Peter's needs on offense. They need to run the ball effectively to gain some confidence. They do. They put some points on the board.
Last week they didn't gain many yards against a very strong Marist team. Part of the crowd here at homecoming enjoying a beautiful day for football. Ball up at the 32-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Peacocks. Here's Miller behind the blocking of Reale, and Miller will get to the 35. Fumbles the football. Fumbles have killed him. Rodriguez and Mooney on the football there. That is the 11th turnover they've had, and that is the 9th fumble they've lost this year. That has plagued them all season.
When you turn the ball over, you're not going to win many ball games. Let's take another look at this one. The pitch, Sylvester Miller running. You'll see him coming into the screen, and the ball will come out right there. The hit by Rob Vs comes loose, and then he recovers the ball.
Well, Mooney and Rodriguez on the ball. Back to the live action. The pass short, a 5-yard gain to Gus Cheliotis. And Cheliotis picks up 5 as Levine goes to the air on first down.
The last week against Stony Brook, after the big interception by Ken Kraft, they went one play, 51 yards, and I think it was a similar thing. Levine was looking long, but he didn't have it open, so he went underneath the safe play.
Well, he'll send out Dwayne Farris at the top of your screen. Farris, the hero of last week's game. He had caught 2 touchdown passes in the 4th quarter. Working out of the I formation, Patrick Keene at 34 gets the call. The fullback trying to bounce away. Won't get away from Lee Rogenbogen. The middle linebacker, number 44. Rogenbogen only 195 pounds playing the middle, and he jammed Keene on that play.
Mark Levine called the most accurate passer. 6 touchdowns, 33 of 72, 499 yards. We have a nice special with him at halftime.
That'll be coming up, a feature that CJ did this week. So it'll be coming up a 3rd down play. 3rd and let's call it 4. Levine with Creighton, the single setback.
This is 2 down territory, Barry.
3 wide receivers right, looking, faking, left. He'll carry the football and will be stopped shy of the first down at around the 28-yard line. As we'll take a look at the starters for St. John's. DeLeo Farris and Cheliotis, the receivers. Jermaine Creighton looking to have a big game after being stymied a little bit last week against Stony Brook. And a very inexperienced offensive line, banged up Denardi and Gaines, a couple of freshmen on the right side. Ramos starting for the injured center, Gordon, as he's out of the lineup. So on 4th, at about a yard, they're going for it here.
Well, they brought in a lot of beef. Paul Carozzo, the freshman, is in there, number 27. Expect Creighton to get it.
And Creighton will dance to the outside, turns the corner. Creighton down the sideline, cuts back. Creighton into the end zone for a touchdown. 27-yard touchdown run for Jermaine Creighton, and the Red Storm take an early 6-0 lead.
Oh, beautiful run by Jermaine Creighton. And Jermaine likes playing against St. Peters. We'll take another look. Jermaine will get the ball, and he'll dart to the outside. And when he gets to the outside, he's got some sneaky speed, and he's off, and he just has to get by one more St. Peter's defender, and he cuts back at about the 5-yard line, and he heads into the end zone. Beautiful run by Jermaine Creighton.
Creighton had 166 yards against St. Peter's last year in the St. John's win over in Jersey City. Calbera, the holder, Soto to try the extra point. It is up, and it is perfect. So the Red Storm take advantage of the turnover and strike very quickly, CJ. 27-yard run by Jermaine Creighton.
Like we said, you can't have turnovers, especially in your own defensive half of the field, and expect to be successful. Teams like St. John's are going to capitalize on that like they did last week against Stony Brook, rather. And they did the same thing here, capitalizing and punching it in for the score. Let's see how St. Peter's reacts. When they come out, they were effective for the first drive, for the first couple of plays, and then they got bogged down. Well, in last week's game, they turned the ball over at the 10-yard line, turned it over at the 12-yard line. They stayed with a very strong Marist team, one of the teams picked to finish very high in the MAC Football League. And then in the second half, some big mistakes, and they got blown out. That's the key, Barry, mistakes. You have to stay away from mistakes to win ball games. When you don't do that, you're not going to win. Red Storm have been very tough on this home field, as we'll see the receivers back. That is Miller, 43, and Reale, 32. Again, that fumble setting up the St. John's score. Red Storm looking to go 3-1. Both teams are in the MAC Football League, but this is not a conference game. We'll tell you about that later. Here's Reale, fakes the reverse. Reale up the middle, and he is a power guy. He'll blast his way to the 27, 28-yard line. Taken down by Eric Brazan, holding his line and not going for the fake. Nice play. So let's see what the young Peacocks will do here after fumbling the football on their previous drive. Jeremy Bartuk, their quarterback, is a transfer from Colgate, 2-year starter, and he's been bothered by hamstring injuries pretty much all year, going back to preseason. That's right, but he's got a great arm, and let's see what happens. Not real quick, but he's a big boy at 6'3", 210, out of Jackson, New Jersey. Hands off, stumbling but driving forward is the big bruising Tom Reale at 210 pounds, and he's stopped on the play by Kenny Crabb. Some tempers flaring, a flag thrown. Let's see what the referee calls. First flag we've had, our referee is Richard DeSimone. And we'll get the call in a moment.
We have personal foul on the defense, personal foul on the offset, penalties offset, bring it down.
So there you have it, offsetting penalties. Maybe just a little something extra at the end of the play there. And checking out of the ball game right now, Brian James for the St. Peters Peacocks, replaced by Russ Snyder in the lineup. Now the Peacocks will also bring in David DeMizio, number 80, as a wide receiver. On second down, let's call it second down and 6. They'll stay on the ground. Reale will be wrapped up and brought down. Elliot Holes, who we saw last week as quick as lightning in that Stony Brook backfield, did it again. The 5'9", 205-pound freshman out of Baldwin. Well, Barry, he has a knack for getting into the backfield and making a stop right there before the running back has a chance to get back to the line of scrimmage. He's able, with his quickness, to get by. He's usually working on the center. Loss of 3 on the play. 3rd and 9, passing situation. Bartuk in trouble, dumps it off here. Reale stopped way shy of the first down. Excellent coverage by Kenny Kraft, the sophomore from Oceanside here on Long Island. So the Red Storm defense holds, and the Peacocks will be forced to punt. Well, we'll have to see what St. John's does on offense. They were able the last time to punch it in after a turnover. I look for St. John's to stay on the ground when they get the ball back and run the ball at Jermaine Creighton. Tom Reale, the punter. Jermaine Creighton, of course, the guy who scored the big touchdown. And Morton is back to receive the kick. The freshman from Staten Island, he'll step forward. No fair catch. Morton, who's going to be an exciting player, according to Coach Bob Rickert, down at the 36-yard line. St. John's takes over an excellent field position. And the Red Storm leading by a score of 7-0, thanks to a 27-yard run by Jermaine Creighton. Creighton's second touchdown this year. And he's had some big games against this St. Peters club, hasn't he? Yes, he has. In his freshman year, he ran for 196 yards. He only ran for 47 in his sophomore year, but last year 166, and here he is, the big runner already today, Barry. Mark Levine, the junior from Freeport, handing off to Creighton. And Creighton fighting for a couple of extra yards, but stopped by the middle of that defensive line. Brought down after a short gain. Andy Aguirre and Joe Dorico, the linebacker, on the stop. Very young front. Murphy, Aguirre, Daniel, and Cooper. Cooper's going to be a real good one. The linebacker, the key guy, is Regan Bogan. He's a returner. Scheifler's done a good job. Secondary banged up. Shaw's their best athlete. A lot of inexperience back there. That's right, but you have to keep an eye on number 26, Ivan Pinzone. He really likes to hit.
And Levine with time. Up the middle to the fullback. Keena has the first down. And down inside the midfield marker at the 48-yard line. A 14-yard gain on the play. And a nice touch. Mark Levine had all sorts of time. Spotted his wide-open fullback. And he took the ball and made the first down. Mark Levine had a number of choices here. He had Gus Chiliadis, who was open in the middle. And then he decided to go to number 34. Patrick Keenan, wide open, underneath the linebackers, makes a move, gets to about the 49-yard line. Keenan is an excellent receiver. Had a 38-yard touchdown pass on a screen play earlier this year. Right up the middle, Creighton for the first down. Pulls away, still going. Great run by Creighton, and finally tackled by Aldo Calderon, saving a possible touchdown there at the 21-yard line. Coach Mark Collins can't be happy about his defense so far. 27-yard run, missed tackles indeed. Missed tackles is, I think, a matter of concentrating. Yes, Jermaine Creighton is doing a good job of running hard, and that's what he does. He's a hard runner. He hits the hole. But you've got to get your shoulder into him, knock him, and drive him down. Mark Collins can't be happy. Second 27-yard run for that young man, now bouncing away. Look at the fancy footwork of the quarterback, Mark Levine. He has a first down inside the 10. It'll be goal to go at the 8. A 13-yard pickup for Mark Levine. But before the game, Coach Collins and I talked about the offense having problems, but his defense being consistent, playing well in most of the games, staying in the games. But right now, St. John's is really, the offensive line is blowing the defensive line off the ball. It is goal to go for the Red Storm as they go to their power backfield. And Creighton hit hard. A helmet goes flying, and we have a late flag thrown by the official from the back. Well, he's hit by number 44, Lee Regenbogen. A beautiful hit. And let's see what the penalty call is here. Face mask appears to be the preliminary indication. Here you make an excellent defensive play. You stop Creighton after no gain. Creighton 4 carries for 56 yards.
Penalty on a defense for first down.
Let's see if we can get the culprit on this one. There goes Creighton into the line. And as Regenbogen, he hit him first, stopped him, and for some reason reached up and pulled his helmet off. So it's first and goal at the 3-yard line. Farris wide to the left, top of your screen. Same set as before when they scored the touchdown. Now whistle blows. Stopping play. See if they had time on the clock. 25-second clock not moving. And we are going to get a penalty here, apparently against St. John's delay of game. Well, the 5 yards they just picked up, they gave it back. So that'll move the ball back to the 8-yard line. We have a score here in a MAC Football League contest. Marist leading Duquesne 10-0. Duquesne off to a fine start in the MAC Football League. Farris goes wide to the left. St. John's with a 7-0 lead. 3 running backs lined up tight behind. Levine hands off to Creighton, turns the corner. Creighton looking for a second touchdown, and he's got it. An 8-yard touchdown run by Jermaine Creighton, and the Red Storm up the lead here to 13-0 with 7:03 to go in the opening quarter. Well, it was the same formation they had the last time on the 4th down play when Jermaine Creighton ran for a long touchdown. They have the 2 fullbacks in the backfield, and Paul Carrazzo, number 27, and number 34, Patrick Keena, and they ran Creighton off the left side into the end zone for a touchdown. And the Red Storm looking sharp offensively. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns. As St. Peter's not offering much resistance here in the early going. Soto to attempt the extra point out of the hold of Calbera. Soto 4 for 6 at extra points. Now make it 5 for 7. Time out of the field. Midway through the first quarter, the Red Storm lead the Peacocks of St. Peter's 14-0. Out of bounds at the 1-yard line, so we'll have either St. Peter's taking over at the 35 or a re-kick.
Well, Jermaine Creighton, who struggled last week against that tough Stony Brook defense. Remember, in the first half, at only 11 yards rushing, came up big in the second half. So far today, 5 carries, 64 yards for 2 scores. Well, we talked about a carryover effect, and I thought there would be a carryover effect, a positive one from the end of the Stony Brook game, rather, to this game. And St. John's has taken up where they left off. They were able to run the ball. We'll take another look at the touchdown. See 27 Carrazzo and Keenan number 34, and then you'll see 22 Jermaine Creighton bounce out to the left side. Almost a replay of the first touchdown. Then he dives into the end zone for his second touchdown in the first quarter. Was able to turn the corner. Regenbogen at 44 was trying to get in there. And right now they'll stay on the ground. Reale trying to bounce off a tackle and does. Rodriguez trying to bring him down and finally does, but not before he picks up 15 yards. So you saw the strength of Tom Reale, the senior running back out of Susan Wagner High School, who was a walk-on at the University of South Carolina and found his way back home. Well, the coach knew him from high school, and he knew he was out there, and we'll take another look. Number 32, Tom Reale, strong, hard to take down, and he was able to find a home at St. Peters. Richie Rodriguez finally brought him down, but not before he picked up 15 yards, 4 carries for 21 yards for the senior out of Susan Wagner High School. Once again, Elliot Holtz coming in and breaking up the play, a loss of 5, and again, you have to really see this guy to believe how quick he is. He's their second leading tackler, their leading solo tackler. He now has 21 solo tackles. Well, coming into today, he had 7 tackles for losses. He's already had 2 for losses here in the first quarter. It shows you how quick he is, and he has a nose for the ball. He reads the play so well. Miller losing 4 on that play, so it'll be 2nd and 14. Peacocks trailing 14-0, trying to get something going. Bartuck with time. Looking, throwing out of the backfield, complete. Reale has the first down as he was hit by Holtz, who came back all the way from his line of scrimmage to get him, but not before he picked up the first down. A good hustle by Elliot Holtz to track down this. You'll see Bartuck, number 2, looking for a receiver. And when you're leading receivers, your fullback, he comes out of the backfield. There he is, 32, and then it's make the yards as quickly as you can, and there's Elliot Holtz. He looks like he got the first down. He was able to beat the first man, and they'll mark the football inside the 40. It is indeed a first down at the 37-yard line. Injuries have plagued Reale a little bit throughout his career. Nevertheless, this young man who led Susan Wagner High School to the New York City Championship several years ago is quite a football player. He led the team in rushing and also in scoring each of the last 2 years. He really does it all, and he punts. So he almost plays every down on offense. He's got great balance, and we've seen that as he's been able to bounce out of a couple of tackles. So 1st and 10 at the St. John's 36-yard line. Reale and Miller in the tandem eye. And the handoff to Reale, quick hitter, and he drives for close to another first down to around the 26-yard line before Josiah Mooney came up from his strong safety spot to make the stop. Well, I'll tell you, Barry, it's no secret that you can run the ball against St. John's, and it's just a matter of, St. Peters finds himself down 14 points in the first quarter, but you can't get away from your game plan. When you have a running back like Tom Reale who runs it hard, then you have a nice change of pace with Sylvester Miller. You know you can get the yards on the ground. You just have to be patient and stay with it, and maybe they'll be successful. Make a good point. Last week, Alex Londino of Stony Brook ran power running up the middle and really hurt St. John's for most of the first 3 quarters. Bartuck will be forced to take a timeout here. Didn't like what he saw on the 2nd and 1 situation at the 27-yard line. So the Peacocks called a timeout as play is stopped. Well, you mentioned Alex Londino last week. He had 157 yards. And as a team, the defense gave up over 200 yards against Stony Brook. Same thing the week before against Fairfield, and maybe what we've seen here on this drive is maybe the defense is relaxing a little bit. They have a 2-touchdown lead. They established a pattern getting a defensive stop on a turnover and then stopping St. Peters on their second drive. Now here in the third, maybe all right, we have a 14-0 lead. We're a little too comfortable, and maybe the timeout is fortunate for St. John's. All right, indeed, CJ, as we have a timeout on the field.
We'd like to remind you that Red Storm football on New York 55 is 18 yards. Both catches by Tom Reale. And now on second down and 1 from the 27-yard line. Let's see what happens after that timeout. Reale barking out the signals. Play action fake, looking, has a man open, and it's going to be complete to Polite inside the 15-yard line at the 7 to make that the 12-yard line. Jelani Polite, the sophomore from Pennsauken, New Jersey, coming up with the catch. That is his 7th reception of the year. While he was working on Floyd Chambers, a sophomore for St. John's, he was able to run past the first down marker and get the inside position, and you saw the arm of Jeremy Bartok. He can really throw it. You give him time, and that is something that they have not had this year with all the sacks they've had. Bartok does indeed have a strong arm. From the 12, 1st and 10 for the Peacocks. Again, rolling right. He's got a blocker throwing for the end zone, complete to the tight end. Chris Bartos, the tight end, with the reception, the junior from C1, New Jersey. And on the 12-yard touchdown pass, the Peacocks are on the board. Smart play by St. Peters to roll out Jeremy Bartok. That gets you away from the rush. We'll take another look at this one. Number 2, Bartok, getting away from the interior rush of St. John's, waiting for Chris Bartos, number 88, open in the end zone, makes a nice catch in front of number 19, Ken Kraft. Bartos played well last week against Marist. Kicking game has been an adventure. Haig to try the extra point, partially deflected, but it went through nevertheless. Jason Haig has had his problems kicking this year. He's missed an extra point, missed some chippy field goals, but he was able to get that one through. You can see St. Peter's relaxing. We can drive the ball on St. John's. We can move it on St. John's. It certainly is a confidence builder and something that, you know, Coach Mark Collins would probably rather see maybe on the first drive of the game, but on the second drive of the game. But here on the third, they'll take 7 points. That is the first offensive touchdown they scored since the fourth quarter of their opening game. They had been shut out offensively in the second and third games, and they come up with the touchdown on the 12-yard TD pass. Bartok teaming up with Chris Bartos. That's his first reception ever as a Peacock. While Tom Reale had that touchdown you talked about early in the fourth quarter against LaSalle. You know, last week they were shut out by Marist. They also lost 10-7 to Canisius. That was Bartos' first college catch. He'll remember it, and it's on New York 55.
After halftime.
Talk about efficient. So Bartos out of C1, New Jersey, making his first start, replacing Russ Snyder, and the Red Storm will get the ball for the first time. As you see the deep men back to receive the kick for St. John's. Number 27, Paul Carrazzo, who returned a couple of kicks last week. He's the up guy. Mooney, number 17, is the deep man. And he'll be the guy they want to handle the football here. And Mooney will take it at the 15. Had a big return last week in the Stony Brook game, particularly in the fourth quarter, and drives this up to the 40-yard line. So nice 23-yard return by Josiah Mooney. Red Storm have the football when we return. They lead the Peacocks 14-7 on New York 55. So far perfect with 2 for 2. And the Red Storm, 2 possessions, 2 scores. They'll go to the air here perhaps. And Levine will not get away as he's taken down by big number 74. And that is Pat Murphy, the junior, out of St. Peters in Staten Island. He had time, and then good coverage downfield. Couldn't find anybody open, and Murphy brought him down after about a 1.5 yard gain. Credit that one to the defensive back, Shaw, Pinzone, Richardson, Carrero. Putting a blanket on the St. John's receivers. I think we'll see St. John's get back to the running game. It's been effective for them. Mark Levine barking out the signals. He's got Creighton in the backfield with Keena. Looking left, throwing off the hand of Gus Cheliotis. The junior from Wantai. They'll set up a 3rd and 8. Well, that time St. Peter's showed blitz. They had 8 men up front, and then just before Mark Levine snapped the ball, they pulled back. They only rushed 4. Maybe that changed up the offense for St. John's. They're a little kink in. St. Peter's playing well in this defensive series. The inexperienced offensive line has been banged up by more injuries. Eduardo Ramos starting for the injured normal center. Gordon out. Levine with time, now scramble,
Throw up the middle. It's going to be complete for a first down at the 45-yard line. Fine catch by DeLeo. Peter DeLeo, the sophomore from Mount Vernon out of Iona Prep, with a nifty reception for a first down. You can credit this pass to Mark Levine, avoiding the rush, and that gives his receiver enough time to find an opening in the middle. Right there, you see DeLeo, right at your screen, but he comes up with the catch for a big first down. Ball spotted at the 44-yard line, so Peter DeLeo with his 8th catch of the year. This is Creighton, and he's tripped up at the line of scrimmage. Won't go anywhere. Colin Scheifler, number 55, the strong side linebacker, with the initial hit. You know, he had some shoulder problems, and another one of the St. Peters players who it seems that they've been hit by the injury bug. They're nicked. You know, a lot of these players aren't 100%, but they're going to give you 100% when on the turf. So a gain of 1 on the play. It'll set up 2nd and 9. St. John's leading by a score of 14-7, 2:20 to go in this first quarter. Levine to throw, and complete to Cheliotis. 2 men are over there, and he will not get away, as he was tackled after a very short pickup on the play. Cheliotis had 1 catch last week. That was his only catch of the year. Right now, he seems to be a feature in the offense, maybe a wrinkle that St. John saw in the film of watching the film last week between Marist and St. Peters. Maybe they can get the tight end open underneath. 82, Gus Cheliotis making the catch. McKnight, 45, and Calderon, number 11, combining on the stop. It is 3rd and 5 for Levine with time. Complete out of the backfield. This is Keena looking for the first down. Has it. And Keena inside the 30 at the 29-yard line. Patrick Keena, a very effective weapon as a receiver on that little dump pass over the middle. Well, what happened on that play, 82, Gus Cheliotis cleared out the middle. He went down about 15 yards, cut in, and the St. Peters defense seemed to be drawn to him, and that opened it up for number 34, Patrick Keena. You'll see it. Watch to the right of your screen. There goes Cheliotis. He's open underneath, and right there, it's wide open for Keena. First down for quarterback Mark Levine at the 29-yard line. 1:13 to go in the quarter. Creighton trying to turn the corner. Creighton will pick up some yardage and roll down after he picked up some yardage. Brian Shaw, number 20, coming up to make the tackle, along with Ivan Pinzon, number 26. Well, there seems to be something that St. John's is working on the right side of the St. Peters defense. You have a freshman, Jason Cooper. You have another freshman, Andy Aguirre. Maybe they're trying to take advantage of the freshman. See the time remaining in this first quarter. St. John's with a 7-point lead. 2nd and 3 after the 7-yard gain by Creighton. 4 receivers. Trips to the right formation. Creighton up the middle, has the first down. Flag on the play. He's at the 10, at the 5. He goes into the end zone, but they may bring it back for holding. When you see a flag in the middle of the line, it usually means holding. It was thrown immediately as Creighton went through the line. There it is. It is a holding call. I wouldn't have been surprised. I would have been shocked if it was something else. So Creighton's 22-yard run is negated by the holding call. And St. John's will lose 10 back to the 32-yard line.
Offense, 2nd down.
All right, take a look from the end zone. Let's see if we can spot which St. John's lineman. Didn't see it. Could have been anyone in there. It was tough to pick up. So Creighton's 3rd touchdown of the day denied, and is now 2nd down and long yardage. Levine with time, trying to dump it off to Keena. Hit hard from behind as Levine was dumped. Hit hard by Regenbogen, the middle linebacker, number 44. But again, Levine has plenty of time. Give credit to this young, inexperienced offensive line. Compared to the first 3 weeks, he's getting a lot more protection today. I wouldn't be surprised to see St. John's here try and get, if they're not going to run a running play, try and get Levine outside. Maybe he can work with the 3 receivers on the right side. Well, he's got Farris single coverage at the top of your screen. Lined up against number 20, Byron Shaw. Trips right formation. Levine looking right. Now he'll have to scramble. Dumps it off to Creighton. Creighton's first reception of the year, and he won't go far to the 26-yard line. This will set up a possible field goal attempt, which would be over 40 yards, and Christian Soto indeed will come on here with just 5 seconds remaining in this quarter, and I don't think they'll get the play off. No, they will not. So that is the end of the first quarter. The Red Storm score early on a couple of touchdown runs by Jermaine Creighton, and after one, they lead St. Peters 14-7 on New York 55.
These red letters are the mark of great trucks, vans, and sport utilities. These red letters are the mark of great value. Right now, during Red Letter Days at your GMC dealer, enjoy great savings on Sierra, save on Safari, get big savings on Jimmy, and save on Sonoma also. You've got a big selection to choose from during the 97 model year-end sales event. Now's the time to make these red letters.
Soto will attempt a 44-yard field goal. He had a 46-yarder and a 38-yarder against Central Connecticut in St. John's opening victory. This one from 44 yards for the sophomore from East Rockaway. Good snap, ball down, it's up, and the kick is going to be just short. Just died as it got to the crossbar. Gave everything he had on that and that old right foot. It just wasn't enough. 20, Byron Shaw came flying in the right side and almost blocked it, but a good defensive stop by St. Peters. Momentum now shifting their way, and it all turned because of a penalty. Yeah, great penalty on one of the St. John's offensive linemen, negated the touchdown. That really would have put St. Peters in a hole, but now they're working with some decent field position. Peacocks had a nice drive for their last score, winding up in a touchdown pass by Bartuk. This time they'll give it to Reale, and not much of a hole of anything there as he stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Anthony Zito, number 24, out of Dix Hills, the junior, 3-year starter, outside linebacker. He started the year as a safety, and he moved into linebacker, and then you'll see him standing up as a linebacker or getting down on the defensive line, working against an offensive lineman. St. John's basically goes with a 3-man front. Holtz, the nose guard, Grazan, 48, and Simone, 65, play on the outside. Little play action fake. Bartuk, good looking pass to Snyder, and Snyder has the first down at the 40-yard line. 13-yard pickup to Russ Snyder, the sophomore tight end from Rutherford, New Jersey, who last year scored a touchdown against St. John's on a fake punt going 41 yards. Take a look at the replay. Watch the right side of your screen. You're going to see number 24, Anthony Zito, come flying in, and at the last second, right there, he gets rid of the ball, stepping up. Beautiful play by the quarterback, Jeremy Bartuk. Second time Bartuk has hit a tight end. Earlier was Chris Bartos, 88, for the touchdown reception. So the Peacocks moving the ball, 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Early second quarter, they trail St. John's 14-7. Reale, good balance as he was hit at the line of scrimmage and go forward to the 46-yard line. And a nice 6-yard gain, finally stopped on the play by the Red Storm's Kenny Crabb. That's the 9th time Tom Reale has touched it, 7 for runs. 2, he's caught out of the backfield. I did say he'd have to touch it about 40 times today for St. Peters to win. 40 may be a little unrealistic at this point, but still he's going to touch it a good number of times. Reale back in high school is the New York State Sports Writer Player of the Year in his senior year at Susan Wagner High School. As we mentioned, went to South Carolina as a walk-on, didn't make it. Reale trying to pick up the first down, driven back. Good penetration by Elliott Holtz, once again, number 72, as he stopped the play for just about no gain. They'll mark it at the 46, and let's call it a 3rd and 3. Anthony Zito also in on the tackle. Well, Elliott Holtz again, we're going to say his name a lot this afternoon, especially if there's a stop for no gain or for a loss of yards. St. John's going with 3 freshmen on that front line, Grazan, Holtz, and Simone, all freshmen. Big 3rd down play here for Jeremy Bartuk. Out of the I formation. And he will not get it off. As St. John's comment, it was Rob Feast, number 40, as they blitzed up the middle, and it's another big sack. Well, the first problem for the offense of St. Peters was number 24, Anthony Zito. He was the first guy to get into the backfield. You're going to see it here. Now watch near right of your screen. You'll see right there, the blocker picks up Zito, and there's no one to pick up. The rest of St. John's, Feast
And Holtz was right back. Boy, they're strong up the middle when you have Feats and Holtz. St. John's deep is Martin, the freshman, number 29, to receive this kick from Reale. Fair catch called for at the 21-yard line. And the Red Storm will take over 1st and 10, leading by a score of 14-7 on a couple of touchdown runs by their brilliant runner, Jermaine Creighton, 27 and 8 yards.
Well, nice defense there by St. John's. They responded. They came up with a big defensive stop when they had to. They blitzed. They crossed up St. Peters. Now they have the ball back on their own 21-yard line. Let's see if they run the ball with Creighton and sort of chew up some of the clock here in the second quarter.
We played 4 minutes, 15 seconds of the second quarter. St. John's with the lead. Levine has been sharp, 5 for 7 for 52 yards. He'll stay on the ground, and Creighton will bang his way out to the 26-yard line, stopped by Regan Bogan after a pickup of about 4 or 5.
St. John's had 3 receivers to the left side there. It really stretches out the defense and opens up the middle of the field. A lot of one-on-one assignments on the defensive line, and that's where you can get a quick hitter like that and maybe just break something.
Well, Creighton certainly has that ability. 12th meeting between these two clubs, and St. John's with a comfortable lead. Although 2 years ago here on this field, they lost in a driving rainstorm to St. Peters on homecoming, 9-7.
I'd have to say I'm glad it's not raining today.
It's a beautiful day. Inside, they go to Keena, the fullback. Gets close to the 30, where he stopped again. Regan Bogan on the tackle. The junior out of Susan Wagner. You mentioned Susan Wagner. That is one of the premier high school programs in New York City, having won the city championship several years in a row. And now Cheliotis will come out.
Let's take another look. Now watch the handoff. The tough exchange here between Levine and Keena. He almost missed him.
Yep.
Timing wasn't right there.
Stumbling Levine handed off to Creighton. Creighton will have to do it on his own here, and he does pick up the first down as he drives to the 44-yard line. A 15-yard gain for Jermaine Creighton, and what a first half he's having.
And they ran to the left side of their offensive line, the right side of St. Peters. Very lucky there. And Mark Levine was able to get rid of the ball. He got stepped on by someone on his offensive line.
He was stumbling as he tried to hand off the ball, and Creighton had to do it on his own. So Jermaine Creighton, who's had 11 100-yard-plus days, certainly appears to be on his way to another one here, but he will not get anything there. Snowed under. Number 44, Regan Bogan again, and on the tackle, Tom Daniel, number 50, the sophomore from East Meadow. The defensive lineman also on the stop.
Interesting story. I mean, he was a Prop 48 last year. He worked hard in the offseason on his grades, and he also worked hard to get into shape. Now, he came in, and Coach was like, who is this guy? He wasn't the guy from last year. He really sculpted up, and now he's a starter and playing very well.
So St. John's now facing a 2nd and long, 11.
Play action.
And this is Levine on the roll. Flag on the play, and Levine tripped up and taken down by number 26. And that was a fine play by Ivan Pinzon, the sophomore, out of Farmingdale, New Jersey, the strong safety 2-year starter.
Well, Pinzon coming up and making that play. We'll see what the penalty is. St. John's is starting to walk back, and Mark Levine is calling for a holding. You see it right there. But open down the field on the rollout was 82, Gus Cheliotis, and he couldn't get him the ball.
Well, interestingly enough, Dwight Farris, as this holding call will set up 3rd or make that 2nd and long yardage. Farris has not been thrown to today. He's the guy who came in with the big touchdown passes last week, 5 catches for 90 yards.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
And it has been the Jermaine Creighton show. 10 carries, 92 yards, and also had a touchdown called back. As let's see what Levine does here in a passing situation. See if they screen it out to Keena.
I think they're going to run left.
They'll stay on the ground. This time Keena nowhere to go, swarmed under by the Peacocks defense. Excellent play by the St. Peters defense. Well, coming up, St. John's schedule, they'll take on Marist. That's always a tough game. And then at Duquesne, at Siena. And we'll be back here November 1st to bring you that game live on New York 55 against Canisius.
Sure.
And following up, November 27th, Thanksgiving morning, another New York 55 St. John's telecast
against Sacred Heart.
Hopefully there's some turkey after that game, Barry. I know you're pretty handy in the kitchen.
3rd and 23. C.J. Papa and yours truly, Barry Landers. Hope you're enjoying the action from DeSilva Field. Oh, in trouble and taken down. Number 55, Colin Scheifler, with the sack. He was MAC Rookie of the Year 2 years ago as a freshman. Missed most of last year out with mono. Hurt his shoulder in a scrimmage earlier this year. Missed the opener against LaSalle. He's playing hurt, but he didn't look hurt there.
Well, when nobody blocks you, you can't really look hurt, Barry. You'll see him 55, untouched. Scheifler. Levine had no chance on that one. James Paul, number 53, didn't have a chance to block him. He was right past him. Maybe he knew something that Paul didn't know.
So the Red Storm scoring in their first 2 possessions, now being stymied by St. Peters. Houston to kick here. And it will be down at the 41-yard line. So they'll have excellent field position. It was Polite who came up with the football on the punt. Jelani Polite, just about a couple of yard gain. And let's see what Jeremy Bartuk can do with the Peacocks, who trail in this game 14-7. Well, what an interesting turn of events. We mentioned Creighton scoring an apparent touchdown call back because of a hold. St. Peter's getting the ball and driving downfield for a score.
And they have very good field position on this drive.
Up at the 41 for make it the 42-yard line. Bartuk 5 for 5, 57 yards and 1 touchdown. Flea flicker play. Bartuk looking as the receivers are well covered. Throws to the near sideline. Rodriguez going up for the interception, but he was out of bounds.
St. John's defense didn't bite on that one. It must have been something they've seen in the field. Everyone stayed with Brian James. It was a beautiful play by Rich Rodriguez. He didn't get fooled. He stayed with his man, number 20. And Jeremy Bartuk had nothing to do except try and throw it up and throw it somewhere where it wouldn't be intercepted. It was a smart play by the senior.
Well, throw it out of bounds, and indeed Rodriguez with the interception, but out of bounds. 2nd and 10 from the 42-yard line, midway through the second quarter. St. Peter's trailing 14-7. Reale ripped down after just about no gain. Eric Guazan and Josiah Mooney combining on the tackle, and St. John's really broke that one up quickly.
Well, the offensive line didn't do its job there. If there's no hole, Tom Reale is not going to get through a stone wall, and that was the red jerseys of the Red Storm. You know, Coach Bob Ricca knows his team is in for a fight. The first 5 or 6 minutes was all St. John's, but since then it's been even.
Freshman Pete Kaliopoulos now in as a defensive end. Pass rushing situation. Up the middle, wide open. Snyder has the first down at the 41-yard line. Second catch for the sophomore from Rutherford, New Jersey. 4th reception of the year for Russ Snyder, and it's a first down.
Well, we'll take another look and watch to the right of your screen. Number 40, Russ Snyder, just untouched, no one around him in between the linebackers. Hoseen was the closest man to him.
Bob Ricca not very happy on that play. Miller bounces off the initial hit, but will be taken down. Zito again busting in from his outside linebacker spot. Broke up the play, and then after he bounced off of it, Miller was taken down by Mike Simone, number 65.
Well, Miller was lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Nice play to avoid the loss, and it's 2nd down and 10, and the yards are tough for St. Peter's, but they've got to put some points on the board, I think, right here before halftime.
See the time remaining in the first half. Coming up at halftime, a special feature on St. John's quarterback Mark Levine. We'll chat with Ed Mineta, the athletic director here at St. John's here on homecoming. Flag on the play.
Movement, I think, on the left side of the offensive line is what I saw.
And that should make it 2nd and 15. We'll await the call from referee Richard D. Simone.
Then I'm up here. I'm not throwing the yellow flags.
False start. C.J. Papa with the eagle eye.
Looked like I knew the snap count on this one. Watch to the left of your screen. Number 88, Chris Bartos, the first one to move.
Well, the tight end has been a position that has caught some balls today. Bartos and Snyder coming up big. This time Polite 7 and James line up wide to the left in a slot formation. James 4, Polite 7. On 2nd and 15 from the 46, Bartuk dumping it off, complete. Brian James Shy of the first down, but a nice pass and a good run by James. Finally, Kenny Kraft and Richie Rodriguez combined to stop him. It'll be inside the 35. It'll stand up about a third and about a 2.
I'd say Brian James is your deep threat. A lot of speed, and watch the left of your screen. You'll see the blitz picked up. Reality, nice job, just slowing up the St. John's defenders. That gave Bartok just enough time to get it to James, and St. Peters has a chance.
3rd and 2 from the 33. Again, out of the I formation. Rolling left, Bartok has a man wide open. Complete to Reale, has the first down. Out of bounds, inside the 20 and around the 17-yard line.
The last play, Reale did a nice job of blocking. On this play, Miller did a terrific job taking down one of the St. John's defenders as he was coming in. That gave Bartok the time to find Reale. Let's see if we can pick it up. Watch number 43, Sylvester Miller, the freshman, to the right of your screen. And you can see Reale 32 go to the left. He made a nice block. And there goes. That was the play before to James, rather.
1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. Here's the pitch. This is Miller. Plenty of room at the 15. Will not make it to the 15. Josiah Mooney breaking quickly from the secondary. Came up along with Richie Rodriguez. It looked like Miller had the opportunity to turn the corner, but boy, Rodriguez and Mooney came up quickly.
There's a lot of speed on that side of the St. John's defense, and they closed quickly. You know, Miller had a chance, but St. John's shut it down.
Andrew Profit now will check into the ball game for the Red Storm at a linebacker spot, replacing Ray DeVito, number 56. So it's 2nd down at 8 from the 16-yard line. St. Peters looking to tie it up. Reale the single setback, and now we'll get a timeout taken right here by St. John's. Timeout on the field. The Red Storm lead the Peacocks 14-7 on New York 55.
St. John's football.
At St. John's, there's the arithmetic. And right now, 2nd and 8 for the Peacocks at the St. John's 16-yard line. Quarterback Jeremy Bartok. Reale bounces off the initial hit by Elliott Holtz, who again was in to break up the play. Falls forward for a very little gain. And finally, Richie Hosea, number 92, another one of those good-looking freshman linebackers, made the stop.
Well, it brings up 3rd down for St. Peters, and, you know, Coach Bob Brick is in a fight. It looked like this could have gotten away early from St. Peters, but, you know, his team Mark Collins' team has come back and giving Bob Brick's team a fight.
Jeremy Bartok facing a 3rd and 7 from the 15. Reale and Miller, the running backs. Polite and James flank wide to the left. Play action rolling. Bartok looking left, and it's going to be intercepted on the far side by St. John's. Rodriguez spun down. The intended pass for Jelani Polite and Richie Rodriguez, the senior out of Nazareth Regional High School in Brooklyn, coming up with his first interception of the year.
Wow, that was a gorgeous play by Rich Rodriguez, standing behind Polite. We'll take another look at this one. Now watch to the left of your screen. Bartok is looking for Polite in the end zone, and you'll see Rodriguez just break to the ball really quickly, makes the catch, steps in front of the receiver, but Polite's got to come back to that one, try and keep the defender behind him. That was this killer for St. Peters. A turnover, and it could hurt.
Rodriguez led the team in interceptions last year, his first of the year. We'll be back. Timeout on the field. St. John's leading by 7.
These red 4 minutes left in the second quarter. Jeremy Bartok looking for number 7, Jelani Polite, and then out of nowhere comes Rich Rodriguez for the interception. His first of the season. St. John's has the ball 1st and 10 on their own 17-yard line. Big play.
Known CJ as their best cover guy, best one-on-one defender, and he showed why. Creighton, a single setback, 92 yards so far, looking for 100. He's got it and more. Creighton trying to turn it outside. Creighton still going and finally dragged down to the far side after he picked up a huge gain. Brought down by Ivan Pinzone, I believe. Not before he brought it out to the 41-yard line from 18. It is another big gain of over 20 yards.
Well, with 4 minutes left here in the first half, I think you're going to see number 22 a lot. Let's take another look. Jermaine Creighton, the tailback, following the lead block of Patrick Keno, bounces off one tackler, then cuts to the outside for the big gain. He's over 100 yards, and
There he goes again. Back to the live action. Here's Creighton again trying to turn. Turns on Calderin, cuts on Richardson, and hit hard from behind after he picked up another huge gain and picked up the first down and more to the 25-yard line. Jermaine Creighton putting on a show here as he picks up over 30 yards on that carry. And he'll come out of the game for a well-deserved blow. Jermaine Creighton leaving the game right now as we get a substitution also. Cal Barra coming out of the game.
I'll tell you, Barry, he really likes to play against St. Peters. Last year, 166 yards.
First and 10 from the 25. And this is the speedy Eves Delva. And the freshman goes in for the touchdown. So the replacement comes up with the touchdown. Eves Delva coming up with the touchdown run of some 40 yards. And the Red Storm take the lead here now by a score of 20-7.
I tell you, Barry, that has to hurt St. Peters. They're driving for a score, a turnover. The second time here in this first half that a turnover has led to St. John's possession and then a St. John's score. 3 plays, just ran right 83 yards for the touchdown.
2 big running plays by Creighton and then Delva, who had just replaced Creighton with a over 40-yard run for the young man from Brooklyn. Soto to try the extra point. Out of the hold of Calbera. Soto's kick is up, and it is good. So the Red Storm strike very quickly and just run downfield on 3 big running plays, 2 by Creighton and 1 by the speedy Eves Delva.
I think that's one time where losing a focus and losing your concentration really hurt St. Peters. We'll take another look at the touchdown by Eves Delva. Now watch the middle of your screen. It will open up, and Delva is able to fly through the left side of his offense, breaks an arm tackle, and gets into the end zone. First score for Delva.
25-yard run for Delva, and that set this crowd alive. 3-play, 83-yard drive for the Red Storm. You know, Coach Collins was talking about we've got to stop Mark Levine, we've got to stop the passing game, but it's been the running game. Creighton and then now Delva on this last play that has really hurt St. Peters today.
Well, on that drive, the St. Peters defensive front just getting blown off the ball. Mark Collins has to be angry. I think his team, like I just said, I think his team lost focus. I think they were dejected giving up the offense made another turnover. The defense, which had been playing well sort of in the middle of this half, fell apart. The beginning, St. John's took a turnover, went in for a touchdown. The next drive, they went right in for a touchdown. And then St. Peters, they got their confidence. The offense went down and scored. The defense started to play well, but after that turnover, they fell apart.
There's no question about it. Young teams will often do that. Reale will take it at the 12 to the 20. And will cross to the 25, a 13-yard return for Reale. And the Peacocks will put it in play first and 10. Grazan and Kraft on the tackle. Well, today's Red Storm football game is being brought to you on New York 55 by the Triton. Love the way the Red Storm put 6 points on the board very quickly. 3 plays, 83 yards. And the handoff going to Reale. Reale trying to get to around the 29. He'll pick up 3 before he was stopped by the St. John's defense.
Well, I think St. Peters would, be smart to stay with their program. They were down 2 touchdowns at the beginning of this half. They found themselves down again. They were able to drive the ball, run the ball against St. John's. I see no reason to abandon that. The long pass didn't help last time. The short passing has worked for them here in the first half.
Bartuk has done a pretty good job with the short passing game, indeed. He faces now a 2nd and 7 for Bartuk. On the draw, Reale looking for the first down. Knee will go down shy of the first down at the 36-yard line. Rob Feast on the tackle, the junior out of William Floyd High School on Long Island, with 2:05 to go here in the first half. Clock is ticking. Coming up at halftime, we invite you to stay tuned. Mark Levine will be a special guest feature. Bartuk is 8 for 10 for 103 yards, 1 touchdown. that came to Chris Bartos, and one costly interception by Rodriguez at the 5-yard line. Handing off Miller, and Miller is tackled for a loss on the play. Andrew Profit, number 49, who began the season as a offensive player, as a tight end, coming up with a nice defensive play, the junior linebacker from Norwalk, Connecticut.
Surprising, the tackle for the loss wasn't done by Elliot Holst. That's a specialty, getting into the backfield. Nice play by Profit there, Bear.
Profit filling in for the injured Bill Daly, another one of those players out for the season, fractured his foot. Also, they've lost Michael Johnson, their best returning lineman. Corey Mitchell, an outstanding freshman who tore his ACL earlier this year. Back to throw. Bartok looking for Miller. Miller has it and shoved out of bounds by Rodriguez, and not before he did pick up the first down. So a nice play out of the backfield that time to Sylvester Miller, the freshman from the Bronx, who actually attended Edison High School. Actually, J.P. Stevens High School in Edison, New Jersey. And Miller picks up a much-needed first down for the Peacocks. So Bartok now 9 for 12, as he has sent two wide receivers out to the left, James and Polite. Rolling to that left side, has time, now will tuck it under and pick up some yardage inside the 45 to the 44, and stopped on the play by Richie Hoseen. The clock still ticking, 49 seconds to go. They try to line up quickly. They have 2 timeouts remaining, I believe. On 2nd and 3, Bartok in trouble, will throw it away. He was being pressured that time by Eric Razan, the freshman defensive end out of Woodside, Queens, at a Holy Cross High School. Number 48, who was putting a lot of heat on him. So that will stop the clock for Bartok with 33 seconds to go. St. Peters trailing in the ball game by a score of 21-7. Eves Delva with a 25-yard run late here in the second quarter, after Jermaine Creighton scored 2 first-quarter touchdowns for the Red Storm on 27 and 7-yard runs. On 3rd and 3 from the 44. Bartok throwing, and incomplete. Snyder, the intended receiver, he had to reach up high. Rob Feast on the coverage hit him as that ball was coming down on Andrew Profit. So Coach Collins faced with a situation here on 4th down at the 44-yard line, 29 seconds to go, and Bartok heading to the sideline for a brief word, and they apparently will go for it, trailing 21-7. Mark Collins in his 4th year, former assistant coach at Wagner. He was defensive coordinator out of Holyoke, Massachusetts, Central Connecticut grad. So here they go for it on 4th down. Reale and Miller in the backfield. Time for Bartok to throw. He's got it complete. Polite has the first down at the 30-yard line, taken down after he picked up a nice game. Richie Hoseen on the tackle. And that will stop the clock as they move the chains. 21 seconds to go. We'll take another look at that nicely thrown ball by Jeremy Bartok, who indeed has a very strong arm. Put it right into the arms of Polite, and he picks up the first down. As you see, brought down by Hoseen, the freshman from Bethpage. So they'll take a timeout here. They're down to 1. And conference taking place on the sideline. Coming up at halftime, we'll try to get Bob Ricker as he heads off the field, get his first half comments. Then C.J. Jackson, a pre-recorded interview with quarterback Mark Levine.
Yes, I do. Yes.
And following that, we'll have Ed Mineta, the athletic director here at St. John's, as our special guest, and tell you a little bit about the homecoming festivities here at the Silver Field, the 20th homecoming for St. John's. Of course, 20 years of excellence under Bob Ricker, their football coach, who started the club program back in the 70s, and they've been a varsity program since 1978. Bob Ricker recently inducted into the St. John's Hall of Fame. He was a former star tight end at C.W. Post College, and he's been here at St. John's for over 25 years. On 1st down, Bartok rolling left, has time, scrambling now, gets away from one guy, and then will get out of bounds smartly, stopping the clock with 14 seconds to go. Josiah Mooney running him out after initially he had some pressure from Pete Kaliopoulos, number 86, the defensive end. Well, I'll tell you, Barry, the last two times St. Peter's has tried the rollout left. The last time was the interception. This time it didn't really seem to work, Barry. All right, CJ, thanks. 2nd and 8. CJ will be with Coach Ricca shortly after this first event. Bartok fumbles the exchange. And right off of that, another costly near mistake. Timeout will be taken right here. We talked about the mistake to start the game. The fumble early in the game for St. Peter's, allowing St. John's to get their first score on the Creighton touchdown run. And CJ, we saw it almost there again, but fortunately for the Peacocks, they were able to pick up the football. Well, let's take another look at this, Barry. Right there, Bartok looking up. His hands just don't seem to be ready. I think something was a little awry between him and his center. It's tough when you have turnovers, when you fumble the ball. Luckily, that time, St. Peter's, they're able to recover and hold on. They've had to do a lot of juggling on that offensive line. And Ray Kubler, who had started this game as a right guard, moved to center a little bit for Bob Pooler. Number 65 was the man who centered on that exchange right there. Well, Kubler is a guy who used to play center for this club, and he's the strongest man on the St. Peter's team, so they moved him to the guard to try and get a little more versatility, a little more strength in the running game. And now he's had to go back. It's unusual to have a problem like that when he knows what he's doing with 9 seconds left here. St. John's up 21-7. Well, Bartuk's going to have to put it up here. 9 for 14 for 137 yards. I wouldn't be surprised if he looks for Reale if they can get a little blocking or to one of the tight ends. Well, the tight end's been successful. Well, CJ, they have no timeouts left. 9 seconds on the clock. And right now on 3rd and 8, I'm surprised St. John's doesn't go into prevent defense here. Single setback. 3 wide receivers. Miller lines up as a wide receiver. Bartok going up the middle, incomplete, no flag. Oseen might have got a piece of the intended receiver heading downfield. And that, of course, was number 4, Brian James. But it goes incomplete, sets up 4th down, 4 seconds left. This indeed will be the final play, CJ, of the first half. They kept Reale in the backfield. I thought James might have gotten a little nick there. Yep. Maybe a little hometown, a little home cooking on homecoming, Barry. I don't know how you feel about it, but maybe that's what happened. Incidental contact, they say. That's what they always say. The defense always says, right? All right, James and Polite wide to the left. Miller wide to the right. 4th down, final play of the half. Bartok looking deep, throwing for the end zone. Incomplete. He was looking that time for number 4, Brian James. And St. John's with good defensive coverage on the far side. Floyd Chambers, number 37, providing the coverage as the first half has come to an end. So the Red Storm jumped off quickly with 2 early Jermaine Creighton touchdown runs. And then after that, it was St. John's giving up a touchdown pass, but St. John's getting back to Eves Delver coming back. Let's join C.J. Papa down on the field. All right, take a look at the scoreboard. Barry, 21-7. St. John's leading St. Peter's, and Coach Bob Ricca joins me. The first part of this game really went your way, 14 quick points. What were you thinking?
Well, I think maybe we scored a little bit too easily. Big play, 21. Should have been, it was 14-7. We should have made it 21 down here. We had a flipping penalty or whatever, holding penalty, took the play back. We're in a ball game. It's going to be a tough game. 32 Reale's tough.
How about the interception, Rodriguez? Really beautiful play.
Big play. Big play. We needed that, and it came up big time for us.
3 running plays, 83 yards. What a drive. What were you looking there?
I have to get inside. Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot, Coach. That was Coach Bob Ricca. Right now, the score is St. John's leading St. Peter's 21-7. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, a special look at quarterback Mark Levine. Is Mark Levine. Now, earlier this week, I had a chance to sit down and talk with the quarterback who lets the St. John's offense go.
Mark Levine said he always wanted to go away to college, but the Freeport native stayed at home and went to St. John's. It was a decision that paid off immediately for Levine and the Red Storm.
As it got closer to me to pick a college, I decided to come here because I wanted to play in front of my family, my friends, my high school coaches, and it makes you feel just at home, just playing in front of the people I always played in front of.
Mark is the type of kid who came in here as a freshman and was ready to play as a freshman. and had a big part in the team going 10-1.
Now a junior, Levine carried his team back from the boot last week against Stony Brook. Levine rallied his club with 2 touchdown passes in the 4th quarter. His performance proves he's the leader on the St. John's club.
I try to lead by example. I'm not like a rah-rah. I don't yell at none of the guys too much. You know, if I see something going wrong that's not positive for the team, I try to let the team know. I'm not, you know, I lead by example. The coaches called a great play in the 4th quarter of the Ferris. And we executed it, and that was a big part of the game. I'm just comfortable on the field because I've been playing since I was 8 years old. So right now, like, that's like the most comfortable thing for me to do is being out in the field. You know, I just feel so at home when I'm on the field.
In his first 2 years, Levine has thrown for nearly 4,000 yards and 35 touchdowns. He has a chance of becoming the all-time leading quarterback here at St. John's, breaking the records held by Scott Cesny.
I try to just go game by game. I try to keep everything consistent. And it just so happens that the numbers are combining up to be, you know, just as good or better than some of his numbers. So it feels good that my goals were high enough to become, you know, be high enough to break some of the records.
Mark, I think, is more of a natural than Scott was, and it appears that things come easier to him. Doesn't have to make as many adjustments as Scott would make.
After a sensational freshman season, Levine left the school because of academic problems, but he says he's learned from that experience.
It was hard adapting as a freshman. A lot of freshmen have a hard time adapting to being in a college and playing college athletics. You know, I had a hard time adapting to the whole atmosphere. You know, I got through that year, and I had to go to Nassau for a semester. And I came back here. I just did all my academic responsibilities, and I'm okay now.
Did you ever think when you had to go to Nassau that you might not get back to where you wanted to, and you know, a lot of times, sometimes something happens as a roadblock, you don't get through it. You got past that roadblock. What made you see, I guess, see the future in terms of what can happen when I get past this?
I love playing football for St. John's, and I knew that for me to get back, I had to go to Nassau and do well in my academics. And they told me that, and that's what I did.
As far as Mark's concerned, I think it was a learning experience, and he's profited from the learning experience.
Mark Levine, one of the athletes St. John's very proud of. And of course, I'm joined right now by Ed Minetti, the athletic director. Certainly Mark Levine represents all that is fine with the St. John's football program. What a beautiful day, great homecoming, and Bob Ricka, what a job over the 20 years he's done.
Oh, Barry, it's fantastic. And thank you and Channel 55 for being part of the St. John's family. We're looking forward to a long relationship. And you hit the nail on the head. Bob Ricka, he's the man. 20 years, he typifies what a St. John's person is all about. And we were honored last year to induct him into our Hall of Fame here.
Ed, this is your 3rd year as athletic director. I know you came back. Usually you head west and you come back east, and you're back here, and you're doing a lot of wonderful things. St. John's has some plans about the future, possibly building a new on-campus facility for basketball and other indoor activities.
We're part of the overall philosophy of the university, Barry. St. John's University, led by Father Harrington, is taking a new step to the next millennium. There is a plan now to introduce residence halls here on campus in a couple of years, a new student center, and then hopefully phase 2 comes along and we'll be able to complete our soccer stadium and hopefully a brand new multi-purpose facility. Again, this all has to be approved, but we're working that direction. We're doing our homework now. We're getting all the costs and figures and seeing where it would be placed and doing all the feasibility studies. I can tell you right now that St. John's Athletics, like the university, is very much looking forward and looking to the next step to do everything for our students.
One area I know you're particularly proud of, the girls volleyball team, one of the highest GPAs in the nation.
2 years in a row. I keep telling Coach Joanne Persico-Smith that we're going to name the award after her because they've done an outstanding job with that. The soccer program, as you know, ranked 2nd, winning the national championship last year. Baseball winning the Big East. What Bob Rick has done in football, Franny turning basketball around, Charlene Thomas, our track and field program, outstanding with the accomplishments they did last year in the NCAA. So I think between facilities and the new coaches and administrators we brought in, the idea was really to energize and modernize, and I think we're on that path.
Great spirit. There seems to be a lot of enthusiasm out here.
No question. And again, it all generates here. This is why homecoming, this is what it's all about, to be part of this great institution. I came back 20 years ago. I walked out of here and had to get a job, and now I'm back here to really to serve the university and really to help Father and everyone at St. John's make it happen.
Ed, thanks very much for joining us, and I know, speaking for Channel 55, New York 55, we're delighted to have you part of the family.
Well, I'll tell you, thank you to you and CJ, and we look forward to a long and exciting year this year and many more to come.
All right, at halftime, The Red Storm leading the Peacocks of St. Peters 21-7. We'll be back with more halftime activities.
School activities. I don't really do anything for recognition, but I do it just for the fun of it. I never thought I'd be picked.
Tell me, really, is it good to be the king?
So far, yeah, it's been great.
Carol, how did you get involved in this?
Same thing as I even saw the application. Figured, it's a long shot. I'll go ahead and try it. Got going through an interview, was shocked at that, and then to be out here today and get the queen is unbelievable.
Now, being the king and queen, does it carry over to anything else you guys get to do at school?
Well, I hope I get to, deem my grades to be like a 4.0 this semester. I don't know. I hope not. I'm not really one for like the spotlight, things like that.
Tell me about yourself. What's your major?
Mathematics. And I'm senior. I've got one more year left. I'm student teaching right now, Bayside High School, and I'm working really hard and a lot of activities on campus. Hopefully this will help me get things going a little more, get some more students involved and things.
All right, Carol and Ivan, thank you very much, and congratulations, the king and queen of homecoming there at St. John's. We're going to take a timeout right now. St. John's leading St. Peters 21-7. It's halftime. You're watching St. John's football live on New York 55. John's and a very dear friend, Jack Kaiser, and had a fitting year here on homecoming, Jack, and St. John's is winning a football game as they've done a lot in the past, and you're honored today receiving a very special award.
Well, I'm very honored to be considered a member of the All-Era team since I was a non-participant, but I was very happy to have been involved with bringing the football program back to St. John's and in a very positive and successful fashion.
Well, Jack, you have seen that program grow. Bob Ricker's been the only coach St. John has had from the club level when you brought it back right to the varsity level. Here he is still going strong in 1997.
Bob is an outstanding coach, as the results show, but he's also an even better individual. His players who are here today and many who aren't will attest to that. We've had wonderful assistant coaches like Dutch Outerkirk, who was just honored, and many others. Ken Bantam, who's out there too, who have contributed to the program mightily. And of course, the young men we've had have just been super, and we're very proud of the program and those individuals.
Ken Bantam, the track coach for many years here at St. John's, also being honored. I know you're very proud. It was under your ear that the soccer team really started to make a move, and certainly last year winning the national championship had to be a very proud moment for you as well.
It certainly was. I hired Dave Mazur. I don't know whether it was good fortune or just luck, but he's a terrific young man, great recruiter, good organizer. I really was never involved in soccer before. I played 1 year in school. Nobody knows that. But I love his style, short passing, good backup. If they're in trouble, they get it out and start over again. Now, they lost their first game last night to Florida International. But you can be assured they're going to go on and have a wonderful, successful season and hopefully be in the NCAA playoffs once again.
And we will have him on TV in our next St. John's telecast coming up against Rutgers. Jack, thanks for joining us. Always a pleasure to see you.
Great to see you, Barry.
We'll be back with more from DeSilva Field, the Red Storm at halftime, leading St. Peters 21-7. 1-7 over the Peacocks of St. Peters. Barry Landers along with C.J. Papa. On a beautiful Saturday afternoon here at DeSilva Field on the campus of St. John's University. And C.J., right now, let's take a look at some of the halftime stats as far as the first half is concerned here, and take a look at the numbers. St. John's with total yards 245, rushing the football very, very effectively. I tell you, Jermaine Creighton has most of those yards in the first half, 155 yards of the 198. He has been very effective. The St. Peter's defense really has been letting their team down. And we'll take a look at some of the first half highlights. It was the Jermaine Creighton show in the first quarter. Missed the first touchdown off of a turnover. Watch him bounce out to the outside, and he is gone. Not known for a great speed, but you know what? When he's out there, no one catches him because he got those shifty moves. He's in for the touchdown. 7-0 St. John's. St. John's second leading all-time rusher behind Anthony Russo scores again here. Almost the same play with the same alignment. Bounces out to the left side. Now watch him cut back almost like he did on the last one. Another touchdown. It was 14-0. Looked like a blowout. Third touchdown of the year for Creighton, the senior from Wyandanch. And on the other end, Bartuk teaming up with a nice touchdown pass to Bartos. Well, they had Bartuk roll out. That opened up the middle of the field.
6'1", 210 Chris Bartos, his first catch is a touchdown. And then here's Yves De Silva, surprising everybody with his 25-yard run after replacing Creighton. Well, that drive was 3 plays, 83 yards, capped by 3 long runs, 2 by Creighton, 1 by Delva, and the band is playing, as you said, St. John's music. Now the Red Storm, off to a good start this year, lost their second game to Fairfield after winning over Central Connecticut in their opener in a close game. St. John's won that game 13-7, and after losing to Fairfield 34-21, came up with a dramatic come-from-behind win over Stony Brook last week, 23-19. We'll be back with the start of second half action from St. John's University. The Red Storm, and you got to feel pretty good about the Red Storm 21-7 halftime lead. St. John's will have a couple of tough games coming up against Marist and Duquesne, a couple of the premier teams in the MAC Football League. We mentioned earlier that even though the Red Storm is a member of the MAC Football League, CJ, this one will not count in the league results because earlier in the year a decision was made by the MAC Football League that St. John's perhaps could not compete in the conference this year because of a ruling concerning financial aid. While the league did determine that St. John's had violated the MAC policy on financial aid for student athletes in football, there were no NCAA violations, but as a result of the ruling, St. John's is playing its league schedule, but the games don't count in the standings, but St. John's will be eligible for the MAC football title next year in 1998. But when, you look at St. John's, it's not like they're still playing for something. There's fire. They have a purpose. It's not something that has really detracted them. Well, there's their upcoming schedule. We mentioned tough games against Marist and Duquesne, also against Georgetown, a team that they pulled off a remarkable come-from-behind victory a few years ago, somewhat reminiscent of the victory they had last week against Stony Brook. They'll finish with a couple of games here at home. You'll see the November 1st game against Canisius live on New York 55 at 1 o'clock on November 1st, and on the 27th, Thanksgiving morning, we'll be back here for Turkey Day at 10:30 a.m. Well, I'll tell you, Barry, just before halftime, I had a chance to talk to Bob Brickett, and he gave a couple of quick answers. And, Coach, he has to get back into the locker room, set up the second half. His team is up 21-7. But, earlier I had a chance to sit down and really get to know Bob Brickett. He's been the only football coach this program has ever known since it started at the club level, then it went to varsity. He's been there as the varsity coach for 20 years, Barry, and I asked him what was his most memorable moment. Here it is.
Yes, we started the program here. You'd have to say the first varsity win was a tremendous satisfaction. The first win over Hofstra was a tremendous satisfaction, tremendous memory. The first conference championship. So there's so many firsts when you start a program, and I've been here over the years. So it's difficult. In '94, we were the first to 1AA non-scholarship to be declared a #1 ranked team at the end of the season. So many initials, many number ones, tags, and things of that nature. So just the whole experience has been very enjoyable.
And I think another memorable moment was last week when St. John's storms back a great comeback victory, Barry, over Stony Brook. We'll be back as Mark Collins lead the Peacocks out of the field. Second half action coming up. St. John's leads by 14 on New York 55. Barry Landers along with C.J. Papa back here at St. John's University. We'll have soccer coming your way right here on New York 55. Rutgers taking on St. John's. Boy, they lost a heartbreaker to Florida International last night. First loss of the year for the number 2 ranked in the nation. It's ironic, Barry. The last time they did lose in the regular season, it was to Florida International. But you know what? When it really counted, they won the national championship last year in Richmond in December. They beat Florida International 4-1. It was a game that mattered most. The first time St. John's University has won a national title, and it was a terrific moment. I remember it well. And we'll have the game for you, Rutgers and St. John's, next Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock right here on New York 55. And the St. John's basketball tip-off dinner is coming up November 1st. It'll be taking place right here at Alumni Hall. Mike Francesa, WFAN, will be the host. And for more information, you could call at 188-GO-STORM. That's 188-GO-STORM. And purchase tickets for that very special event. Boy, Fran Fraschiller's brought some outstanding young freshmen into the program for this year, a couple of McDonald All-Americans. And St. John's looking to have a very good year in basketball, ranked in the top 25 preseason, I understand.
Well, last year, Franny putting in his program, and if you get a chance and you stop by St. John's and Alumni Hall and you want to work up a sweat, just watch Franny coach. From the moment practice and they throw out the balls to the moment it ends, he does not stop. He's tireless. He's a motivator. But he'd love to have a guy like Jermaine Creighton on his team.
Talk about tireless. Jermaine Creighton in that first half, just 12 carries, but 155 yards. So he has been very impressive. It's the 8th time in his career that he's gone over 150 yards. As St. Peters will be kicking off. And by the way, I want to remind you to catch tonight's primetime movie at 8. As Robert De Niro stars in The King of Comedy right here only on WLNY, New York 55. Bouncing to the far side, Keena will field it at the 7. Keena to the 15. Bounces off a tackle and then finally goes down. Initially hit on the play by number 30, Josh Kendall. And he stopped where St. John's will put it in play 1st and 10.
You're talking about Jermaine Creighton, you know, against St. Peters. He's averaging 136 yards in the 3 games he's played in his freshman, sophomore, and junior seasons. He's already passed that average here in the first half, and now he might have a chance at a career day. St. John's breaks the huddle. Mark Levine, the quarterback, you saw him at halftime. Let's see what St. John's does. 5 for 8, 47 yards.
Well, they didn't have to throw the ball very much because St. John's was effective on the ground. And Mark Levine off a play-action fake, plenty of time, looking deep. He's got Farris out there, and incomplete. No flag on the play. Farris was battling Byron Shaw, number 20, as that ball slightly overthrown.
Well, you'll see on the replay that Levine had a couple of choices. He went long to Farris, and I guess we'll use those words, incidental contact. They get their feet tangled up. They're both going for the ball right there. Good no call.
Well, Mark Levine, who we saw last week, team up with Farris on a 51-yard game-winning touchdown pass, airing it out right there. This time Creighton cuts it inside. Not much there as he picks up a couple of yards, maybe to the 23-yard line, brought down after a very short gain on the play.
Well, it's not every time, Barry, that you can run 3 times and go 83 yards like they did on the score that made it 21-7.
Right now, Jason Cooper checks into the ball game for the St. Peters Peacocks. Now James Morton lines up as a wide receiver just out of your view at the bottom of your screen. And looking for Levine. He'll dump it off to Keena. Plenty of room. Keena, 35-40. Trying to get to the 40 and will not make it as he got to the 36, but enough for the first down. A 12-yard gain. Lee Regenbogen on the stop, but not before. Keena again coming out of the backfield. Made a nice reception and picked up the first down.
Well, that's right. Patrick Keena, number 34. Known for his blocking. You know, Coach Mark Collins told us earlier this week, we were talking on a conference call with the coach, and he said, you know, I rarely say this about an opposing fullback or another player, but I am impressed with his blocking. And he's been blocking well for Jermaine Creighton, who has 155 yards, and there you can see him coming out of the backfield.
Not a big guy, Keena, 5'9", 183, but plays a tough fullback position. On the roll here, looking Levine. Threw it short for Farris as he was being pressured on the play that time, trying to get the pass off by Jason Cooper, the freshman from Washington, New Jersey.
Well, I'll tell you, Jason Cooper, the freshman, he's 6'3", 205 pounds, and on offense, you know, he lives with Sean Curry, 6'7", 295 pounds, and, you know, Sean's dad, Dick, was here, and he was saying how the two of them live together. They really don't have much room in the apartment because they can't get all the food in that they like to eat.
A couple of big eaters. Got to invite those guys over for dinner. You'll be eating at a house at home. 2nd and 10. And in the backfield, slipping away, Creighton, but will not get away. Pressure by Chris Tharp, number 47, who was in quickly to break up the play. The freshman. Speak about young players. This St. Peters team loaded with kids on both offense and defense.
Well, on defense, you know, they started 4 freshmen today. They had 2 on the defensive line, and Andy Aguirre and Jason Cooper, you know, Joe DeRico and Gunther Carrero, and then they bring in another freshman in Chris Tharp. He usually plays passing downs, and that time they guessed right.
So it's 3rd and 10 for the Red Storm at their own 35-yard line. Creighton and Keena the backs, 3 wide receivers for the Red Storm. Levine rolling right's got Creighton out there blocking, gets a block from Creighton, and throws complete and up for the first down on the far side. Calbera coming up with the reception. Steve Calvera, who caught a very important touchdown pass last week at Stony Brook, comes up with his 5th catch of the year.
Well, he's the possession receiver on this St. John's club. You know, Dwayne Ferris, you'll send him long. You try and get a big play out of him, but this guy has sensational hands. And Mark Levine buying himself some time rolling out. Wide open, catches, stays in bounds. Good play.
Levine, when he rolls out, a very dangerous quarterback. Not a speedster, but he can run the football and gain time, as you said, on that play. Levine to throw here. Got away from a little trouble. In trouble right now. Dances away at midfield. Will not get away from Joe DeRico, number 46. Another of those freshman linebackers out of Hawthorne, New Jersey.
All right, let's take a look from our end zone camera and watch number 11, Mark Levine, looking for someone to pass to. Has no room to go anywhere. He cuts it back, but Joe DeRico stays with the play and makes the tackle right there, number 46, freshman on a junior.
DeRico, their second leading tackler. Very aggressive player. On second down, they'll hand off to Creighton. Got around one man, got around another man as he got around pin zone, and taken out of bounds along the near side. Jason Cooper, number 82, looked like he was going to get him, but again, Creighton kind of elusive, tough to bring down.
We saw in the first half, St. John's ran the ball on the left side. They ran it against Aguirre and Cooper, and then Tharp will come in, running it against the freshman. Let's take another look. I mean, Creighton runs about 15 or 20 yards just to make 3. Right there, he breaks away from the tackle of Cooper, gets to the outside, getting by another defensive player, pin zone, and then knocked out of bounds.
So it is enough for St. John's to pick up close to a first down. 3rd and 1 at the 48-yard line. Trips right formation at the top of your screen. Farris to the bottom. Creighton the single setback. And Levine will get the first down on the quarterback keeper to the 39-yard line. As he went off the left guard, Steve Fazzolari, and Eduardo Ramos, the center, providing a little bit of a block for him.
Well, when they spread it out with the 4 receivers, 3 on one side, and you have Farris on the other, it opens up the middle. And you know, the defense, it's a one-on-one battles, and you have to win those battles if you're going to come out on top. St. John's 3 for 3 on 3rd downs in this drive.
So the Red Storm with a first down at the 39-yard line. Mark Levine, the junior quarterback from Freeport. On first down, looking to throw, scrambling, eludes a tackle, eludes another one, and finally will be snowed under. Boy, he danced away from a couple of guys had a shot at him. Pat Murphy had a shot at him. A couple of other guys had a shot. And finally, Jason Cooper able to get a piece of him and knock him down.
Well, I tell you, I think Mark Collins had some words for his defense to say, you have to play a complete game. When they came out in the first half, they were back on their heels. St. John's, after the turnover, the second drive, they really were able to push it down. Then that long, the quick scoring drive, 83 yards. They've come out, they're committed, they're focused, they're concentrated, they're ready to go.
Looking at Jason Cooper, the freshman we talked about earlier. Second down and 11 from the 40, loss of 1. Again, trips right formation, looking for Farris. First catch of the day for Farris, slipped away from one tackler. He got away from Joe DeRico initially and stopped after a short gain as he got to the 35-yard line.
Joe DeRico did a terrific play, made a terrific move on that. He read it from the snap. He saw quarterback Mark Levine look left, and if they watched the films from last week, you would notice when there was a single receiver on one side and trips to the right. We'll take another look. They always seem to go to the side that Farris was on. He was looking to his left. 46, Joe DeRico, got there and sort of threw a kink into Farris's sort of running after the catch. He slowed him up, swarming defense, they got him.
And finally, Brian Shaw made the tackle. 3rd and 5 from the 34 for the Red Storm. Creighton has the first down and more at the 20, 15, 10. They won't catch him. 34-yard touchdown run. 3rd of the day for Jermaine Creighton.
That has to hurt, Barry. You battle, you get them into a 3rd down and 5, run a draw, score a touchdown, 34 yards. That is a killer for St. Peters.
3rd touchdown run for Jermaine Creighton. Remember, he had another one of some 25 yards called back. We have an injured player down on the field for St. Peters up at the 25-yard line. It appears to be Lee Regenbogen. We'll take another look.
You'll see the handoff, Levine to Creighton, and he does the rest. Once he's past the linebackers,
no one catches him. He's got some good speed. He beats Byron Shaw to the red.
As you said earlier, CJ, not a speedster, but he sees the field well, hits the hole, and he's open, and he makes good yardage.
Watch the hole right there. The only person that had a chance at him was the umpire, who didn't get in his way, and he rumbles into the end zone for the touchdown.
Well, we mentioned earlier his career best, 217 yards against Canisius, as Regenbogen is the injured playing help to the sideline for St. Peters. We'll have the try for extra point. So certainly Mr. Creighton has a chance at breaking his record of 217 yards.
So he has 198 yards right now, which is his second highest ever. He had 196 in his freshman year.
Soto's extra point attempt is perfect, and St. John takes a 28-7 lead, 9:40 to go in the third quarter here on Homecoming. We'll be back on New York 55.
Only Nassau Door and Window offers all major window companies under one roof. Companies like Pella, where you'll find more styles, shapes, and sizes than anywhere else. You'll appreciate the value of Pella's Pro-Line windows, the ingenuity of Pella's Designer Series, and the classical lines of the Pella Architect Series. For renovation or construction, they're simply the most beautiful windows ever made. You'll find Pella at all three of Nassau Door and Window locations in Huntington, Williston Park, and Southampton. Stop in for a free estimate.
Storm Sports on New York 55 is brought to you by the Tri-State GMC dealers, comfortably in command. And by I Love New York. Barry Landers along with C.J. Papa as Tom Reale gets ready to receive the kick along with Mr. Miller. And it has been all St. John's here. Sylvester Miller and Tom Reale. Reale will take it at the 9-yard line. This time fakes the handoff to Miller, and he carries it across to the 26-yard line. It'll be first and 10. Well, the senior tailback from Wyandanch, Jermaine Creighton, having a terrific game. Creighton came in with 29 career rushing touchdowns. Add 3 more today, 1 more earlier. He has 33 for his outstanding career.
Well, let's take a look inside the huddle. Let's see what we can pick up.
That's Chris Camera, the offensive line coach, former star at St. John's University, where he was the captain, or rather at Hofstra University, where he was the captain of their football team under Joe Gardy back in the early 90s. And that is a completion on the far side up to the 36-yard line. Richie Hosine on the stop.
Well, the coach has to be happy with...
Don't get happy, though. Don't get happy.
Polite, the reception on that last play.
Coach saying, don't get happy, don't get happy. You're up 28-7. Got to stay focused, grind it out, keep your defense off the field, save them for the rest of this game and the rest of the season.
Now, Chris Cameron's done an excellent job coming over here the last few years as a coach for Bob Ricker. Reale on the carry, picked up the first down. Stopped by Kenny Kraft. And the ball up at the 40-yard line. So St. John's with the effective running game led by Jermaine Creighton. Last week it was Mark Levine in the passing game that brought the Redmen back. And today it's been the running game that's got on track.
Really it has. And that is what Coach Mark Collins was worried about.
Bartuk. Reale. Good hole. Reale, look at that leg drive. Picks up about 15 yards. All on second effort. Finally stopped by Richie Hosine, but not before. Tommy Reale banged out some very impressive yards.
Well, let's take a look at this locomotive picking up steam and busting through the defense. Okay, 1, 2, Hosine hanging on for dear life. Finally drags him down.
6 foot, 210-pound seniors, we mentioned, out of Susan Wagner High School in Staten Island, has gained 69 yards on 14 carries. He's played well in the 2 previous years against St. John's, as we mentioned earlier. Complete to Polite. Polite wrestling for extra yardage, but will not be able to pick up the extra yards as he was stopped by Danny Kelski, the freshman cornerback out of Deer Park High School.
Well, Coach Ricker has to be happy with the way his team came out here in the second half, putting 7 points up on the board. taking control. Doesn't want to let St. Peter's back into it the way Stony Brook led St. John's back into the game last week.
Light has caught 4 passes for 47 yards from Jeremy Bartuk. Second down, and let's call it 2 out of the I formation. Reale slipped the tackle as Josiah Mooney looked like he was going to get him in the backfield for a loss, and Reale finally picks up the first down after bouncing away from Josiah Mooney. Stopped by Richie Hosine. Not before they moved the chains for a first down. He's been impressive, Reale.
He really has. We knew coming in that the real deal, as I called him in the pregame, Tom Reale would touch the ball a lot for this team, and they need him to be successful to win, and he really, really gives his heart and soul for this St. Peter's club.
Right now, Brian James lines up at the top of your screen as a wide receiver. Flag on the play. Dumping it off to Reale, and he slips the tackle, goes down the sideline. Hosine appeared to have him wrapped up and finally taken out of bounds, but there is a flag on the play. Floyd Chambers knocked him out.
I thought it was offsides. St. John's, we'll have to see. We usually get a call from the side.
Yeah, it appears to be against St. John's. Football. He'll take the play undoubtedly here.
Set. Defense. Penalty decline. First down.
Haven't had many penalties in this game, but that one declined.
This seems to be almost like the first half. St. John's scoring early, and then St. Peter's settling in and coming up with a drive. They turned it over a couple times in the first half.
Bob Ricca on the sidelines with his club, leading by 21 points, but Peacock's on the move here. Flag on the play again, and this is Reale still driving to around the 6-yard line, a 9-yard gain, but they may bring this one back.
I think it's offsides again. Same referee threw it.
Yep. At the 6-yard line. We'll get the call again from referee Rich DeSimone. Yep, you're right again, offside. A little bit of encroachment, as they say in the NFL.
I say take the penalty.
Oh, absolutely.
Well,
they picked up 9.
Defense lined up offside. Second down. Penalty is declined.
Yeah, 9 yards at this point. You want 2nd and 1 from the 6. You're moving the football, and Tom Reale is going to load here.
I'm always looking for that extra down.
Out over the ball comes Ray Kubler, number 65. Reale now playing tailback. Miller is the fullback, lined up ahead of him in that I formation. Polite wide to the left. They'll go to Reale, and Reale bounces off the tackle, fumbled, but let's see if they blew the whistle. He was hit by Rob Feast. They say the ground caused the fumble. And first down it is.
Well, let's take another look, Barry. They've been successful running right, so they switch it up. They go left. Feast comes in untouched, and the ball comes out when he hits the ground.
Right.
Good call by the refs.
So it's first and goal. Rob Feast had a shot at him. Now we get a whistle, and we'll get a timeout taken here by St. John's. Timeout on the field. The Red Storm lead at 28-7. 5:46 to go here in the third quarter on New York 55.
Parker Tours has offered relaxing vacations of fun, friendship, and value to see the beauty of America for over 50 years. We depart from convenient locations in New York, Connecticut, and New Jersey. Take a 3-day Amish weekend for only $235, or a week to Myrtle Beach for $775 twin occupancy. Call your travel agent or Parker Tours for your free brochure at 800-833-9600.
Hello, I'm Glenn Edwards. My father, Irv, and I have been personally helping families deal with both emergencies and long-term care. If you have a need for help at home, whether it's personal care, high-tech nursing, or even the household chores, we can help.
We're proud of our 42-year reputation for the most competent, honest, reliable staff. Call All Metro Healthcare and let our family care for your family. You'll be happy you did.
28-7, that's the story. 5:46 to go. It's been all St. John's. Jermaine Creighton closing in on 200 yards. He's already scored 3 touchdowns. But the Peacocks of St. Peters trying to make it close here. It is 1st and goal from the 3, full house backfield. And a handoff going to the left side, carrying the football. Herb Gross, number 6, the freshman running back just inserted in the game. Stopped by Anthony Zito, just shy of the goal line at the 1-yard line.
Well, they really changed the pace there. You'd have to think that St. John's is thinking we're going to see Tom Reale, the big bruiser. For that time, they went with Gross, 6 foot, 195-pound freshman, but more of a change of pace back, a little quicker, a little thinner, not as powerful as Reale.
All right, here they go again. Reale again in that full house backfield. Reale gets the call off the right side, and he's in for the touchdown. So Tom Reale comes up with his 2nd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Peacocks, who were shut out last week by Marist, 42-0, now close the gap to 28-13 with 5:08 to go in the 3rd quarter.
I tell you, impressive drive by St. Peters. You'd think that there might be a little bit, they may be a little dejected, a little down after St. John's score. They come right back. That guy, number 32, Tom Reale, bruising it. Take a look at the goal line. Nice surge by the offensive line for St. Peters. The hole is there, and you're not going to stop him.
Jason Haig to attempt the extra point. Kick is up, and it is going to be good as it just squirted through. Not pretty, but it counts. And the Peacocks have answered St. John's touchdown with one of their own. And they're still in the ball game at 28-14 with a lot of time left, CJ.
They really are still in the ball game, and it's one of those games where, almost like the first half, St. John scored twice quickly. He seemed to relax a little bit in the middle. Well, St. John scored quickly here in the 3rd quarter. Maybe they relaxed a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent point. If you're Bob Ricker and you're the defensive side, you say, hey, I don't want to see us relax. They give up a 10-play, 70-yard-plus drive after, seemingly having this game able to put away. And they know what happened last week when they thought Stony Brook was putting them away. They came back with 17 fourth-quarter points to stun Stony Brook.
And last week it took a turnover, and it also took a holding call, an inopportune penalty for Stony Brook. So things can happen and things can change quickly. This is a very important defensive series.
Last year, the Red Storm with Mark Levine throwing 3 touchdown passes to wide receiver Ken Forte, one over in Jersey City, 27-13. And St. John's has dominated the series. This is the 12th meeting. They've won 8 of the previous 11. So Haig to kick off. St. John's will have Josiah Mooney deep. Standing back at the 3-yard line, you see Mooney, the young man from Texas, who has made a big impression on St. John's coaches. Ball will go out of bounds, and they'll move it up to the 35-yard line, where St. John's will have it 1st and 10, as a flag is thrown on the kick that went out of bounds. So St. John's will take over. They've come out throwing the ball a lot more here in the 2nd half than you'd kind of expect, maybe trying to get the passing game going, even though they've run the ball so effectively, particularly Jermaine Creighton.
Well, I tell you, one of the things about St. John's here, I think on this drive, is you have to give the ball to Jermaine Creighton. He has 607 yards now in the 4 games he's played against St. Peters, over 150 yards averaging, and he has 3 touchdowns. I said, give him the ball.
He was held at just 75 yards last week against that tough Stony Brook defense, at 156 yards against Fairfield. Look at Creighton spin around after it looked like he was going to be taken down for a loss on the play, ends up getting a yard or 2.
And you mentioned last week only 75 yards, but most of those yards came when they counted in the 2nd half. Stony Brook defensively played a very strong game. They really keyed on him. They took him out of the game in the 1st half, but then it opened up for him, and he really made the yards count.
So it's 2nd down, a gain of 1 on that play for Jermaine Creighton. Creighton now has hit the 200-yard mark on 17 carries, and Levine to throw. Plenty of time. Looking. Now scrambling. Throwing for Keena, and hit hard and could not hold onto the ball. Pinzon with a hit. Ivan Pinzon, we mentioned, a very good hitter around the ball, coming up with a hard hit on Keena, who could not hold on.
Well, I tell you, Coach Mark Collins told us about number 26, Ivan Pinzon, the freshman, that he's very active and that he loves to hit. He's a big hitter. He's not bashful about contact, and you're going to see some contact here. Patrick Keena
will have his hands up in the air. Levine will hit number 34, then you'll see 26 and White hit 34. That's a shot.
And there's a look at Pinzon out of Farmingdale, New Jersey, third on the team in tackles. So St. John's faced with 3rd and 9. Trips to the right formation. Levine looking that way, throwing. He's got a wide open receiver. Diving was a freshman, Morton, from Farrell High School in Staten Island, but just could not reach the ball.
Just out of his reach, and St. Peters did what they had to do. They're going to get the ball back, and we have a game, Barry.
Well, the Peacocks trailed 21-7 at halftime. Closest they've been, 14-7. That was in the first quarter when they got their only first half touchdown on a 12-yard pass from Bartuk to Bartos. So Houston to punt for St. John's, averaging about 35 yards a kick this year. He's been doing a pretty good job for Glenn Zammit out with vertigo, the normal St. John's punter. Not a particularly good kick here. And Pinzon looked like he was going to call for the fair catch, but did not come up with the ball. Big mistake there, and it bounces about 15 yards downfield for the Red Storm.
That was a bad mistake. You have to field that ball in the air. He loses valuable yardage. I'd rather start my offense 1st and 10 at the 36, 37, 38 than 1st and 10 on the 18-yard line, 17-yard line.
That's exactly where Jeremy Bartuk would put the ball in play.
Come on, T! Let's go, defense! Go, T!
We've got a timeout right now on the field. 4:02 to go. We'll be right back. You're watching St. John's football on New York 55.
A few years ago, I was completely lost. I didn't know what college I was going to. I'm really glad I chose St. John's. It's got a great academic program and amazing school spirit. Now, I'm working as a mentor, helping kids stay in school. Everyone should have the St. John's experience. St. John's helped me figure out who I am.
And we're back at St. John's University. Don't forget, we'll have more St. John's sports coming up next week as the national champion soccer team takes on Rutgers. Catch all the action at 1 o'clock next Saturday here on New York 55. And don't forget, there's wrestling action coming up tonight at 11 for WWF New York. And that's every Saturday night at 11 only on WLNY New York 55. Well, Bartuk, who led his club down for a touchdown drive of 4.5 minutes. The last time, we'll put it in the air here. Through the hands of Jelani Polite, setting up a 2nd down play. Bartuk 14 for 21 for 172 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception.
Pass was a little high. Thought it should have been caught, but he really has a gun. It's coming in hot. Got to get your hands on it and try and pull it in.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 17-yard line for the senior from Jackson, New Jersey. 2-year starter. Has been in there all the way, and now will be forced to call a timeout. Did not like what he saw of the St. John's defense, and you hate to see a team in the second half trailing burn a timeout here because of a defensive alignment.
Yeah, you do. It's just one of those things where it shouldn't happen, but yet it does, and let's say toward the end of this second half, you have a chance, you're down by a touchdown, you have a chance to kick a field goal. You're going to have to lose a play to spike the ball, try and stop the clock, or it really can come back to bite you at the end. And I was really surprised that St. Peters tried to throw there, and the play they threw. I mean, you're running the alley and you're having success with him, and run him again, run him until he drops the guy's in great condition, and he really, really, really wants the ball. But I feel if you're going to throw the ball downfield a little more. Don't throw a 4 or 5 yard out. You might as well run the ball 4 or 5 yards.
Oh, we've seen Bartuk demonstrate that he has a strong arm. Big interception came, you recall, late in the first half. Richie Rodriguez picking off a ball at the 5-yard line when St. Peters was going in for an apparent score, and then St. John's came right downfield. 3 plays, 83 yards, and it was Eves Delva scoring on a 25-yard run
set up by 2 long runs by Jermaine Creighton.
Well, that really took the air out of St. Peter's sails. They were really on the move. They could have tied the score there, and it just didn't go their way.
Well, Miller now out of the ball game, and Gross is in as a tailback, number 6. Herb Gross, the freshman from Morris Catholic, and in trouble, throwing it up for grabs, and it is batted, and Prophet had an interception in his hands, but could not hold on. A poorly thrown ball. Josiah Mooney, number 17, put all kinds of pressure on Jeremy Bartuk. He threw that ball up for grabs. It deflected off a couple of hands, and Prophet should have had that interception.
Well, they had a timeout to talk over a play, but St. John's coming in with a safety blitz and just throwing it up for grabs. St. Peters and Jeremy Bartuk very, very lucky. Mooney is everywhere here in this game.
Yeah, Feast was there on the possible interception, and then Prophet as well. So it's 3rd and 10, and Bartuk fortunate on that play not to give up the interception. He rolls left, looking as a man open. It is complete, enough for the first down, up at the 31-yard line as he found his receiver, Jelani Polite, who's had a fine game, the sophomore from Pennsauken, New Jersey.
But last week, Barry, believe it or not, on 3rd down against Marist, St. Peter's didn't make a 3rd down conversion. They've been much better at that here. That keeps the drive alive. That's what you need. That's what you're going to have to do. Keep the ball and keep your defense off the field and give them a break. Try and score.
Big play for Bartuk on 3rd down. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. 3:28 to go, 3rd quarter. St. Peter's with the ball, trailing St. John's 28-14. Zito will pull him down for the sack, a loss of 7. From the blind side, Anthony Zito on the blitz, coming in like a house on fire.
Well, Anthony Zito came in. Herb Gross, and maybe this is a freshman mistake, did not pick up the blitz, and Zito went flying right by him. 2 plays before, it was a blitz from the right side. This time it's a blitz from the left side. Watch the near side of your screen. Right there, number 6 doesn't pick up Anthony Zito, who goes by. He blocks him. He's got a chance to make that play. You got to see the blitz. You've got to be aware of the defense.
Zito forces a loss of 5 on that play on the blitz. Takes him down on the sack. 3rd sack of the year for Zito. 2nd and 15 from the 29. Bartuk airing it out, and a poorly thrown pass looking for Brian James. He again had pressure. Rob Feast putting the heat on, number 40, along with Andrew Prophet, number 49.
Well, I tell you, Jeremy Bartuk is one tough cookie. He's been hit 3 times in 4 plays, very hard. That time he was lying on the turf, and number 2, I didn't think he was going to get up. He got hammered as he threw the ball out for Brian James. His defense is really stepping it up with the blitz.
Well, St. John's has been a defense this year, as we've seen in our 2 New York 55 telecasts, that bends, doesn't break, will make a big play when they need to. And right now, Bartuk on 3rd and 15. Let's see if St. John's is blitzing here. Zito's coming, and Zito will pull him down again. He and Holtz were in again, number 72 and number 24, and it's Zito with his 2nd sack on this drive, and St. John's defense does a big job right here.
Oh, well, Jeremy Bartuk is... He better talk to his offensive lineman and say, what are you doing? You're going to get me killed. I mean, Elliot Holtz came in, and so did Anthony Zito. I mean, Holtz beat his man, the center, off the snap to really cause a problem. And out of nowhere comes Zito unblocked. He was lined up as a defensive lineman that time.
Here's the punt coming from Reale. Pretty good kick. Morton will take it at the 43. And good open field tackle that time by Herb Gross, number 6, to bring him down. So the Red Storm in excellent field position right now with 1:51 to go in this 3rd quarter, and that defense coming up big, stopping St. Peter's. Give credit to Anthony Zito with those 2 big sacks.
That's right. You have to give credit to Anthony Zito, and I think you also have to give credit to the St. John's coaching staff. They saw something, especially Joe Delgai's defensive coordinator. He's also coaching the linebackers. He saw something and said, let's put some more pressure, let's blitz, and that's what happened. They stopped St. Peter's right there.
Well, Delgais has done a terrific job, defensive coordinator here for Bob Ricca. And Creighton gets the call here. And they try to move the pile, but they will not stop number 62, Anthony Aguirre, the freshman from Miami, Florida. Kind of interesting that St. Peter's has a couple of Florida youngsters. Both went to a Jesuit high school down in Miami. Andy Aguirre is one of them, and has done a nice job playing in a tough spot for a freshman on the interior line defensively.
The same with him and Aldo Calderon. They're both from the same high school, and
They like the program down there at Jesuit High School, and they like St. Peters.
St. Peters, of course, a Jesuit school located in Jersey City. St. John's run by the Vincentian Fathers. And they also run Niagara, among other schools. Calbera on the short pitch, trying to get the first down. Well, he stopped at the 49-yard line and brought down after he picked up about 7 yards on the play.
Last time St. John's had a third down 2 series ago, they gave it to 22 on a quick hitter inside. He ran the length of the field and ran 34 yards for the touchdown. See if they do the same thing here. It's third and 3. It was similar. It was 3rd and 5 last time. Same sort of setup.
Well, Creighton is their big guy.
Watch the run left here, Barry. Looks like that's what they've done before with the full house.
And they will try the left side. Creighton able to get around the corner. Slipped by Regenbogen. And initially got by number 62, Andy Aguirre.
And he lost his shoe.
And he picked up the first down, Jermaine Creighton. Again, that quickness. Aguirre, number 62, was there. Regenbogen, he was able to turn the corner on the linebacker.
And he gets some extra blocking help when they have all the guys in the back. They bring in a lot of beef. They seal it off. The outside is open. He can get there.
So now well over the 200-yard mark, Jermaine Creighton. 209 to be exact. 19 carries for 209. That's Keena lining up with Creighton in the backfield. On first down, Keena the inside handoff. Regenbogen got a piece of him as he drives to the 40-yard line, a gain of 3. Maybe they'll give him to the 39. Clock ticking with perhaps the final play of the third quarter right there. As you're looking at a gallant St. Peters defense, which has been run over by St. John's. Some big plays have really hurt him. And we have an injured official down on the field, and actually Jason Cooper is an injured player, the freshman. Well, they tell us about Cooper, who you talked about rooming with Curry. He's a kid who doesn't know when to slow down, gives you 100% Jason Cooper all the time when he's out there. Or is it Andy Aguirre? We'll have to see if it's 62 or 82. Beg your pardon, there is 82, Jason Cooper. So the injury is to Andy Aguirre, the fire plug, 5'10", 290-pounder. So play is stopped right here as he's being attended to. We have a timeout on the field, closing seconds of the third quarter. And St. John's leads St. Peters by 14 on New York 55. You're looking at Jermaine Creighton just 8 yards away from his career high. He's gained 209 yards. His career high 217. We mentioned a game against Canisius back in '94, his rookie season. And when he finishes, he will be the second all-time leading scorer to Anthony Russo, the brilliant St. John's running back of the early 90s, who finished 3rd overall in the nation among 1AA runners. And now Aguirre helped to the sideline, and play will resume shortly. Crowd of over 1,200 here on homecoming at De Silva Field, campus of St. John's University, and you see the arithmetic, clock ticking. St. John's trying to get the final play of this third quarter off on 2nd down and 6 from the 39. And the horn will sound, ending the third quarter. So St. John's unable to get the play off, and the third quarter has come to an end with the Red Storm leading by 14. You're watching St. John's football on New York 55.
St. John's football is brought to you in part by your Tri-State GMC dealers, comfortably in command.
These red letters are the mark of great trucks, vans, and sport utilities. These red letters are the mark of great value right now during Red Letter Days at your GMC dealer. Enjoy great savings on Sierra, save on Safari, get big savings on Jimmy, and save on Sonoma also. You've got a big selection to choose from during the 97 model year-end sales event. Now's the time to make these red letters yours. See your Tri-State GMC dealer today.
Hi, I'm Neil Patrick with savings on home aquarium and quality products from Tetra.
Welcome to Tetra's wonderful world of tropical fish, featuring quality aquarium products like Whisper air pumps and Plantastic's ultra-lush plants to create a natural environment.
Let Petland discounts bring you into Tetra's world of tropical fish.
We begin the fourth quarter at the Silver Field. Barry Landers along with C.J. Papa. St. John's with a 28-14 lead. 2nd and 6 for the Red Storm. Levine rolling right, gets a block from Creighton, lobbing it for Chiliotis. He's got it. First down inside the 15 at the 12-yard line. There is a flag over back at the 31-yard line. Let's hold on right here. It appears to be against St. John's, but we'll wait and see.
Might be offensive pass interference.
Please,
Nope, holding on the defense.
penalty decline.
Well, I think it happened as Chiliotis was running down the field. You saw the flag. Nice catch by Chiliotis.
Pin zone on the stop. Gus, his real name is Costas, out of Wantagh. Chiliotis, 3-year varsity. He replaced Andrew Profit as the tight end, although he's been used primarily as a wide receiver, as a split end.
Versatility. It gave St. John's the ability to move Profit to defense where they needed some help at the linebacker position.
And give another good wide receiver. He lines up to the right as a wide receiver. 3 wide receivers in the game for the Red Storm right now. They'll stay on the ground for Creighton, looking for his 4th touchdown. And he'll get maybe a yard or 2 to the 10, making it a 2nd down and 8 situation.
I wonder if they're just setting it up for Creighton to run left. They seem to have a lot of success running him left. They run into the middle. They did score a touchdown off a run in the middle, but I wouldn't be surprised. First quarter, same spot, left runs, 2 touchdowns.
No gain on that last play, so let's call it 2nd and 10. One of the few times Creighton has been stopped. Offset I formation. And Levine to throw, looking for Farris in the corner of the end zone. Touchdown! Farris with a nice catch, beating the defender, Byron Shaw. And Farris coming up with another touchdown reception. That is his 4th of the year. And the Red Storm now lead it 34-14. The 7th touchdown pass thrown by Mark Levine.
I think Mark Levine had to change the call at the line of scrimmage. He was over his center for a very long time, and then through a beautiful out, one-on-one, you'll see it in just a moment. You'll see a one-on-one between Ferris and Shaw, and just like we saw last week, one-on-one, it's tough to cover him, especially around the goal line.
Last week it was Stony Brook's best defender, Rodriguez, who was beaten. Extra point try by Soto. He's been perfect today. And make it 5 for 5 for Christian Soto. And St. John's with his biggest offensive outburst of the year, leading 35-14.
All right, we're going to take another look at the touchdown that puts St. John's up 35-14. Watch Jermaine Creighton. He has a lot of yards today, but watch the block. That gives Mark Levine the time to hit number 18. Dwayne Ferris, touchdown. St. John's rolling.
Ferris becoming their go-to guy. Last year was Ken Forte out of North Babylon High School, first-year starter. And had a big game last week, 5 catches, 90 yards, the 2 big fourth-quarter touchdowns. And against Central Connecticut, had 5 catches for 128 yards, including a 41-yard TD pass. This time a 12-yarder from Mark Levine. So St. John's appears comfortably ahead, 35-14, with 13:53 to go here in the fourth quarter.
I think St. Peters is going to have to open it up a little bit and try and throw get some rollouts, get away from Zito, number 24 in St. John's defense when they get the ball back.
Soto moving this, and it will be taken by Reale. This time hands off to Miller. And Miller well covered at the 10-yard line. Excellent coverage by the Red Storm that time. Chris Basilico, number 50, and Eves Delva, number 23, combining for a nice tackle.
Well, Sylvester Miller limping off the field a little bit, number 43. That play was just a little slow in developing it. You saw Tom Reale knew what he wanted to do with the ball. It just seemed to take him and Sylvester Miller a little too long, and the hesitation at the goal line
cost St. Peters. Let's see if they start to pass it here.
Floyd Chambers comes in the ball game as a defensive back for St. John's. As lining up as a tight end, number 88. Bartos, who caught the touchdown pass. Reale bounces to around the 13-yard line and stopped on the play.
You mentioned Bartos. Well, they've had some success throwing the ball to Chris Bartos and to Russ Snyder, the tight ends.
Let me correct myself. Croce, or rather Gross, on that last carry. So it'll set up a second down play for St. Peters. Next week, St. Peters will play one of the better small school teams, Wagner. Of course, these schools compete in 1AA non-scholarship football, CJ. And that is a fairly new division alignment for the NCAA, but all cost containment football, part of the MAC Football League.
That's true, and you mentioned Wagner. You know, Coach Mark Collins, the coach of St. Peters, defensive coordinator and the linebacker coach at Wagner from 89 to 93. He had some real success over there. 34-17 were his teams.
Bob Ricca having a discussion with referee Rich D. Simone. And
some old Spanish style.
just put some time back on the clock, so it now shows 13 minutes and 33 seconds. No, I tell you, the Silver Field looks absolutely gorgeous. This is a new turf that they put down here. They got a facelift in the summer of '96. A new Stadia Turf field was installed here, and Stadia Turf owned by AstroTurf, which was the maker of the first artificial turf. And we've been down on the field. It's a pretty good surface to play on.
Little known trivia, I did a term paper on the making of AstroTurf when I was at NYU.
All right, C.J. Butler coming up with a very little bit of trivia.
Got an A-.
Second and 6. Reale is the tailback. Oh, my goodness, look at that play. Anthony Zito with his third sack here in the second half. It's hello, where are you?
Well, a couple of moments ago I said, well, maybe they'll try and roll out Jeremy Bartuk, but they have to stay away from number 24, Anthony Zito, who's just been running around untouched. It's almost as if he knows the play. There he is. And starting in the backfield of St. Peters, someone has to block him for St. Peters to get an offensive play, a positive play.
3rd and 12 on that sack by Zito. His third sack individually here in the second half. Bartuk in deep trouble here. Back at the 8-yard line, and now whistles blow. A flag on the play, delay of game. Just what you don't want to add 5 more yards on. And now they'll have to put it in play inside the 5.
Well, this might be a time to just send a couple of receivers down to one side, air it out, and maybe you get a pass interference penalty.
Maybe you catch
something
a break
like that. But the key is blocking the blitzers, and you know St. John's has definitely seen something, and they've decided that we're going to blitz.
Well, St. John's has turned it up a notch here, putting the heat on. Remember we talked about how many sacks this St. Peters club has allowed in the last 2 games, 16 to be exact, and they're allowing a lot here, particularly in the second half. Bartuk, quick kick coming here from Reale. Smart play here, at least got him out of a little bit of trouble. They'll surprise St. John's, but the ball will take a St. John's bounce and will be stopped finally at the 43-yard line. Line of scrimmage was the 4, so it turns out to be 39 yards they picked up.
They did, and I guess it sort of takes the pressure off having to have a long snap near end zone. It's a safe way, sort of conceding, all right, we can't make the first down here. Let's give them the ball. Maybe we can get a stop here. Maybe we can get a turnover. You know, try and get something on the board. 11 and a half minutes left, 11:52 rather. And you know, Coach Mark Collins, you can't really get on him for that call. It could have been looking at a disaster with a long snap back there.
So, Mark Levine, who threw a touchdown pass earlier on the quick pitch. Here's Creighton trying to turn outside, could not get away. Well contained that time by Joe DeRico, the freshman from Hawthorne, New Jersey. Played it well, wouldn't allow him to turn back inside, and Creighton stopped. Bob Rick on the sideline. There's Chris Camera to his right, the offensive line coach.
Well, I think their offensive philosophy right now is going to be fairly simple. Hand the ball off to Creighton, maybe a short pass to Keena. Bring in a couple of the guys who don't play as much. Yeah, they might here at 2nd and 9. I'd like to see Creighton perhaps break his record, and he's closing in on his own record. Levine, complete to Morton. Morton gets away from one tackle. The freshman from Farrell High School fumbled the football. Battle for the ball. St. Peters thinks they've got it.
I think they did too.
Morton trying to get away, lost the handle. And let's see who's coming up with that football. Still no word from the officials, and now the Peacocks have it. Boy.
Well, just what we said, this is what's, the quick kick, who knows? Maybe you get, Bobrick obviously dejected, and that's something that Mark Collins really like to see. We'll take another look. Morton cuts back, and now fighting for extra yardage, has the ball on the inside, right there. It comes out, forced by number 74 for St. Peters, Pat Murphy, the junior.
Finally recovered by Aldo Calder at number 11. He was the last man to emerge out of that pile with the football. So the Peacocks get a little life here. Still a lot of time left. 11 minutes to go, but they trail by 21 points. And Bartuk has Reale as the tailback. In trouble. Zito again was in on him. Throws it complete to the far side, but nowhere to go for the receiver, Brian James, as once again he was well covered by Richie Rodriguez.
But at that time, Zito comes flying in off the left side. Tom Reale got just a piece, and that gave the quarterback, Jeremy Bartuk, just a half a second extra to get rid of the ball and make a couple yards.
I want to thank the sports information directors of both schools, Tim Camp of St. Peters for all his help this week, and Dom Ciani, of course, from St. John's, and his fine staff. Right now, 2nd and 7 for St. Peters. On the draw play, Reale will get some yardage across the 35 to around the 37-yard line. Elliot Holtz and Josiah Mooney combining on the stop. Haven't mentioned Mooney a whole lot today because he hasn't made as many tackles as he did last week, but he's quite a story. Pre-law student who sent his tape from Tyler, Texas up here to say wanted to go to law school here.
St. John's mascot here on homecoming, having a nice time.
And Josiah Mooney, outstanding high school athlete, doing a fine job here as a freshman student at St. John's.
Already looking, as you said, toward his career after football and after college.
Up the middle, Reale. First down as he bolts across midfield to the 49-yard line. He goes over the 100-yard mark with that run. Floyd Chambers, number 37 on the tackle, along with Josiah Mooney.
He is a bull, number 32, Tom Reale, the senior. Watch him get the ball and watch him just get through quickly because he's so close to the quarterback, and then get some steam. He's hard to take down.
Well, Reale, third time in the last 3 years he's gained over 100 yards rushing against St. John's. He's had big games in his career against the Red Storm. Wide open on the far side. James down the sideline. Chambers got a piece of him and knocked him out of bounds inside the 25 at the 24, but a 24-yard gain as Brian James on the receiving end of a pass from Jeremy Bartuk.
You might have to say, and Brian James goes down and holding his left ankle.
Taking ill forward.
Sort of walking back, and he fell to the ground.
They've had so many injuries, this poor St. Peters club. They don't have a lot of depth, and Brian James, a senior from Essex Catholic High School, an East Orange native, who last year caught 5 passes against St. John's.
Bartuk was injured, the quarterback. He had a hamstring problem. And then Brian James will take another look. You'll see Bartuk looking to his right. You don't see Anthony Zito anywhere. That time he was actually blocked, and that's why the play was successful. James running free, knocked out of bounds by Chambers.
And then
now
after
he's
the play,
walking back and
seemed to turn his ankle.
Turn his ankle, or yeah.
Well, when it rains, it pours, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. They are snake bit when it comes to injuries, Barry.
But he's out of the game right now. Bartos lining up as a tight end, number 88. He caught a touchdown pass earlier. Reale off that left side, big hole! And he bangs his way inside the 15 to around the 12-yard line. A 12-yard gain. Richie Rodriguez finally brought him down. So Reale now 127 yards on 22 carries.
And this is Reale's first 100-yard game since the opener in 1996. He had 120 yards against Siena. He is a bull. There's no other way to describe it. And the offensive line now has taken a little control away from the defensive line of St. John's.
On 1st and 10 from the 12. Handoff. Reale got away from the initial tackle of Zito and drives to around the 10-yard line. Tripped up by Mike Simone, number 65, freshman from East Meadow, who's done a good job stopping the run this year. He's 6'3", 275-pounder. And a gain of 2. There's Reale's numbers, 129 yards on 23 carries.
I'd say look for a pass to maybe one of the tight ends. This is how they scored earlier today. Maybe a play action to Reale. Make sure you get a man on 24 Zito. We'll see what happens.
Andrew McGowan, number 87, in motion. Reale bounces inside the 10 to around the 7. It'll set up a 3rd down play, 3rd and about 5. Feast, one of the tacklers, along with Holtz as they get up. 7:42 to go here in this 4th quarter, and Peacocks will take a timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining.
I think they might be a little bit tired.
Yeah.
Tom Reale is tired. You can see he's bending over. He's now gone down to a knee right about the 15-yard line on the right of your screen. Not a bad call. Take a timeout. I mean, you have to score here. Yes, you have to score 2 more times, and if you do get the score here, but you can take your time, be patient, get a touchdown, and build.
Well, this game is being brought to you on WLNY New York TV 55. No part of this television broadcast may be reproduced without the explicit written consent of WLNY TV Incorporated. And don't forget, St. John's Soccer, the national champions, will be on New York 55 next Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock. We'll have the game against Rutgers for you on a tape delay basis. Bob Ricker trying to close in on win number 123. He's got a percentage of over 62%.
And he's been very successful here at St. John's, but he also has to be very concerned. We've seen it before against Stony Brook. We saw it against Fairfield. Running the ball. You can run the ball in this team, and St. Peters is doing it too.
And they'll face a tough Marist team who likes to run the football next week. 3rd and 4 from the 6. Play action. Bartok with time, now looking, he's under pressure, throws for the end zone, incomplete. He had Polite out there. Kraft and Rodriguez were defending on the play as he rolled to his right. Good coverage by the St. John's defense, and that'll set up a 3rd down to make that a 4th down play from the 6-yard line.
Well, let's see what happens. They're not going to kick it. They have to go for it. They need 7. I think they were looking for a tight end on that play.
So it'll be 4th and 4 from the 6-yard line. Peacocks trailing by 21, 7:33 to go here in the 4th quarter on homecoming day here at St. John's. Wishbone offense. And did they get it off in time? Nope.
No.
Boy, that'll kill you. 4th and 4 from the 6. They'll move it back to the 11.
Well, you can look at it one of 2 ways, Barry. The bad way, oh, no, we have a penalty. Or the good way, it gives us a little more room to operate.
Another game. Offense. 2 4th down.
And that wild man, Anthony Zito, comes back in the game, number 24. He had a blow on the sideline for the moment.
Oh, he'll be blitzing from whatever side he's on. I mean, he has been extremely active. I mean, last week we saw Floyd Chambers, the safety, make a lot of plays, and this week Anthony Zito has been all over. He's going to be on the right side of St. John's defense.
4th and 9 from the 11. And Zito gets blocked this time. Bartok in trouble on the near side, throws, and he hits somebody on the sideline. Number 86 putting the pressure on for St. John's that time was Pete Kalapiolis, the 6'2", 230-pounder from Wappinger Falls. The freshman did a nice job pressuring Bartok.
Let's take a look at this 4th down play. Bartok rolling to his right. You roll to the side. That's usually where the pass is going to go.
That's where it went. It was knocked away by the St. John's defense.
So St. John's will take over. Again, that defense bending but not breaking, as we've seen in the last couple of games. And we'll see if Creighton is still in the game. Yes, he is. 21 carries, 209 yards, still 8 yards shy of his all-time record of 217. Creighton will try to bounce it outside. Now it reverses his field, spins away, and will not get away this time from DeRico, number 46, who gets a hand on the back of his jersey and drags him down.
Well, he hasn't really gained many yards in the last couple of series, and on that one, I mean, he's looking to get outside. He can't get outside. Maybe in the back of his head he knows he's got a lot of yards. He's trying to make something out of nothing. That time, nothing out of nothing.
Well, he tried to reverse his field, but Joe DeRico, who's their second leading tackler, wouldn't let him get away. A loss of 5 on that play, so he's back to now 204 yards.
Some tough yardage here for him.
Yeah, credit. Peacock's not quitting right here defensively. And again, they'll try. Creighton gets to the 11, so he picked up about 4. Clock ticking, 6:18 to go.
And you wouldn't really expect the defense to quit. I mean, they have really played with a lot of heart. They don't have a lot of size, but they do have a lot of determination, and they stay in ball games.
Let me correct myself on that last carry. It was Keena and not Creighton, so Creighton remains at 204.
It's obvious at St. Peters that whether they know it or not, I don't think they want Jermaine Creighton to gain any more yards against them.
Nope. They'd like to do a job here defensively. 3rd and 11 from the 12-yard line. Creighton is the running back. Creighton gets the call. Creighton will not get anything, maybe to a yard. Look at the gang tackling there. That's that young defense. We talked to Coach Collins. He was talking about, hey, this defense is aggressive. We may make mistakes, but they've come to play every game.
That's right. I mean, yeah, they were in the game last week against Marist, a very strong team. They were trailing by a touchdown at halftime and into the 3rd quarter, but then things fell apart. Things fell apart when the offense doesn't do anything and you're on the field the whole time. They've played with a lot of guts and a lot of gritty style, and now they should get the ball back if they field the punt in good position.
Houston will kick from just about the goal line here. Gets it off, goes down.
Nice acting.
No flag. And the ball bounces upfield across midfield. It'll be at the 47-yard line for the Peacocks. They'll put it in play 1st and 10. Jeremy Bartuk with just 4 minutes and 49 seconds on the clock, and the Peacocks trailing 35-14 will put the ball in play.
So Bartuk has 215 yards passing. It's a new high. He had 200 last year against Iona, but they also have given up 4 sacks, 16 in 2 games. Now it's 20 in 3 games. You have to really keep that down to 0, and that really is fundamental in all football, whether it's down here or, up in the pros. The quarterback needs time.
Well, when you're behind all the time and teams are expecting it, they put pressure, they screen it out to Reale, and Zito again on the tackle. He stayed home that time, stopped it at the 40-yard line, the 39. A loss on that play of about 8 yards on the screen pass to Reale.
Zito is having a terrific game, number 24. A junior from Dix Hills. It's 3 years he's been a starter, and he is all over. Whether he's the left side, the right side, they just say, get out there. He's got a nose for the football.
As you mentioned earlier, started the season as a defensive back with some injuries. Mooney had to take over at safety. He moved from offense to defense, and he moved from his defensive back spot. There's Zito in again on Bartuk. Missed the sack there. The pass complete on the far side, and it'll be a short gain. Deli Mankel, number 33, the receiver, 5'7", 195-pound junior from East Orange.
We'll take a look. Zito, number 24, will come in. Bartuk doing a good job. Zito missing his 4th sack of the day. That would have been number 4 right there. But Bartuk's a big kid, 6'2", 210. I mean, he's strong. He's able to shake that arm tackle off and make the play to Deli Mankel.
3rd and 11 still for St. Peters. Ball at the 46-yard line. They have to go to the St. John's 43. And Bartuk gets a good block that time. Looking to his receiver. Throws, and it's almost intercepted that time
by Kraft, as the intended receiver was Jelani Polite. Kraft did a good job reading that, stepping in front of the receiver.
A nice play. Anthony Zito goes to the sidelines for a breather, but he set the tone here in the second half for the St. John's defense. He really has. And they haven't missed a beat, and a good play there. As you take a look at a freshman linebacker, Rich Ozine, taking a break on the sideline. This defense played well in the second half.
Absolutely. So on 4th and 11, trailing by 21, of course they're going for it here. Bartuck with time, looking, throwing it up in the air, looking for Brian James. He had 3 defenders back there. Rodriguez was back there. And he also had help back there as well from Joe Casimir. Timeout on the field right now. St. John's comfortably ahead, 35-14. We'll be right back with 3:11 to go.
These red letters are the mark of great trucks, vans, and sport utilities. These red letters are the mark of great value right now during Red Letter Days at your GMC dealer. Enjoy great savings on Sierra, save on Safari, get big savings on Jimmy, and save on Sonoma also. You've got a big selection to choose from during the 97 model year-end sales event. Now's the time to make these red letters yours. See your Tri-State GMC dealer today.
Lately, poor Nelson's been feeling a bit cooped up. But today, he'll once again revel in the smells of the great outdoors. You see, Maggie had a sore on her foot that just wouldn't heal. It got so bad she couldn't keep up with him. But Maggie went to the Wound Care Center, part of Curative's national network of wound care specialists. They helped heal her foot, and now she's back up to speed. So if you've got a sore that won't heal, come to your Curative Network member Wound Care Center and get your life back.
Red Storm Sports on New York 55 is brought to you by the Tri-State GMC dealers. GMC, comfortably in command. And by I Love New York. Barry Landers along with C.J. Popper back at De Silva Field on the campus of St. John's University, where the Red Storm have pretty much put this one away. They've got a new quarterback in the ball game. Their backup quarterback, Chris Aiello, a 6'180" freshman from Smithtown, New York, out on Long Island. And we'll pick up some other changes for you in the lineup as well. In the ball game right now, Paul Carozzo as a running back. And the handoff going to the near side here and trying to turn it is Yves Delva. And Delva will be down inside the 35 at around the 33-yard line. Delva had a beautiful 25-yard run earlier for a touchdown on his first carry of the day. And we'll get a look at Jermaine Creighton all through for the day. CJ.
24 carries, 211 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's the second most yards he's ever had in his career. 217 against Canisius on October 15th, his freshman year, 1994. Jermaine, a big day for St. John's.
And the senior from Wyandanch, over 3,600 yards. And this, getting no running room, is Anthony Canariato, number 47, 760-pound freshman from Whitestone. And everybody getting into the act. Also in the game for St. John's, Asif Lighty, number 83. And now coming out after that brief run will be Canariato. So Bob Rickett clearing the decks.
He is clearing the decks. There was a penalty on St. John's.
Illegal procedure.
And when you look at Jermaine Creighton, he's still well behind.
Offense, penalties decline. Second down.
Well behind Anthony Russo, who had 2 300-yard games and 6 times over 200 yards.
What
he was
a career.
Fantastic runner.
He had Anthony Russo, Scott Cessny, McDermott, a couple of the great ones here at St. John's. Right now you see the new quarterback, Aiello, the freshman from Smithtown. Delva's the tailback. And Delva gets the call. Big hole up the middle for Delva. Delva to the 10. They're not going to catch him. Flag on the play, however, at around the 5-yard line. Yves Delva showing some great speed, bursting up the middle. Let's see if they're going to bring back his second touchdown of the afternoon.
I think that one coming back, it's going to be my opinion from here. It looked like a hole.
Yves out of Brooklyn, New York.
Sort of on the last block, right before he got into the, about the 11-yard line. See what the referee calls.
I want to thank Frank Ramos.
Illegal block in the back. Offense, 10-yard penalty for second down.
Block, hold, still got a piece of them. Well, that's the second touchdown that's been denied St. John's. Earlier, remember, Creighton had a touchdown negated when there was a holding penalty called. Otherwise, you'd had 4 touchdowns and 240-odd yards. As we mentioned, I want to thank Frank Ramos, freshman lineman, defensive lineman, who's working with us up in the booth. Did an excellent job spotting for us today for St. John's. Thank you, Frank. So on second down, they'll again try the handoff, and this time it's Carrazzo not going anywhere.
Well, Coach Bob Ricker has to be pretty confident when he loses Jermaine Creighton, who's going to graduate. Goes to a young guy named Yves Delva. He's a junior, will be a senior next year. He had the touchdown run. He's got some good speed. He actually even looks a little quicker than Creighton in terms of getting to the hole.
Yeah. He's smaller than Creighton. Creighton's 5'9", 190. And Delva now back in the game, replacing Canariato as the tailback. On third and short yardage here for St. John's. Clock ticking, 1:35 to go. Delva trying to get inside, will not get away. So an excellent defensive play by the Peacocks. That time it was Nick Marone, number 22. Substitute who came in quickly to make the play.
I'll tell you, with 1:20 in time counting here, Barry, a good game for St. John's. They did what they had to do. They came in. They were able to take control of this game early, put up 14 points in the first quarter, capitalize on 2 turnovers by St. Peters, turn them into 14 points, blitz when they had to in the second half, throw St. Peters offense off stride, and coast here in the fourth quarter.
Final minute of play. Trying to turn it outside now. Still on the run. Here's Delva. Slips a tackle. Looking for that touchdown. And they say he was out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
I'll tell you, he got to the outside and he
loosed a bit of running from the kid from Brooklyn.
Yes. Let's take another look at this one, and there's no penalty here, so he gets this one. Watch him get to the outside. Just like Jermaine Creighton got to the outside, he's running outside left. Delva's running outside right. He's going for the end zone. Knocked out of bounds at the last moment. Good play by St. Peters to prevent the touchdown. 43 seconds left.
Boy, Delva's picking up some impressive yardage on a couple of carries here. Yves Delva, 4 carries, 65 yards. St. John's well over 300 yards rushing today.
So here we rush for over 300 yards.
43
You're going to win 9 out of 10 times.
43 seconds to go. Let's see if Delva will put it in. No, St. John's doing a very sportsmanlike move here, taking the knee Aiello right here.
You wouldn't expect anything less from Coach Bob Recker. He's been around a long time. He's seen it all a long time.
He doesn't need to goes around.
That's right. And he doesn't need to run up the score, get a touchdown with 25 seconds left. It does nothing for his side. They're going to win.
I want to thank all the people here at St. John's on homecoming day. Athletic Director Ed Mineta, Bob Ricca facing the sidelines as he will pick up his 3rd win of the year. And the Red Storm now will go 3-1. They only lost to Fairfield. They have a tough road coming up with Marist and Duquesne upcoming games. And this one winding down. CJ, closing comment from you. An impressive day for the Red Storm offensively from Creighton, and then Levine a little bit in the second half and defensively solid.
When you run the ball like the way St. John's did, you're going to win, and St. John's was successful today. They did what they had to do, Barry.
That'll do it. The Red Storm on New York 55 win their 2nd in a row as they defeat St. Peters here on homecoming by a final score of 35-14. For CJ Papa, this is Barry Landers saying so long, and thanks for watching Red Storm football on New York 55.
The following program is a paid advertisement for the Web TV Internet Terminal by Philips Magnavox. Internet for your TV.
The internet on your television. What an interesting idea.